From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Hillary Fuchs, Johnny. How's your time these days?
Time to live, time to die, you know. What's up?
A claim on a $100,000 policy. I want it investigated.
100,000? What kind of policy?
Straight life.
You sound worried.
I am. I think we're going to be taken this time, Johnny.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Continental Insurance and Trust Company, 657 North Spear Boulevard, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the DeSalle matter. I'd heard of Dave DeSalle. I guess everybody in this country's heard of him at one time or another. DeSalle Television, DeSalle Radio, DeSalle Electronics, DeSalle Appliances, racetracks, theaters, DeSalle this and that. But up until the time I talked to Hillary Fuchs about the case, I had never put a man behind the name. Expense account item 1, $2, 2 drinks for Hillary Fuchs and myself. We had them in his office out of my bottle over his desk.
Just plain worn out with it. Stuck.
Ooh, have some water.
Oh. But I'll tell you this. I'm not going to make a present of $100,000 of stockholders' money to anybody.
I wouldn't do that either. Drink your drink.
Here's to war.
Salute. Now, while that's settling, maybe you'll settle down and tell me what it's all about.
Dave DeSalle. Know him?
I've heard the name, yeah.
Well, he's dead. Drowned 4 days ago out on the coast.
So?
Did you ever see our K policy series?
I've heard of it.
Well, the premium's about triple a normal life policy. It's designed only for people with big money.
Sure.
But it's got a feature that makes those people with money look at it a long time.
Uh-huh.
This clause isn't anything more or less than the old accident clause paying double indemnity. Broken down, we aren't taking much of a chance. The incident statistics are with us.
All right, I'll look it up if I need it.
Okay. 3 months ago, we insured Dave DeSalle on one of those K policies. 4 days ago, he fell off the back of a yacht and drowned, and we're hooked for $100,000.
Well, accidents happen.
You betcha, all the time. But I'm not sure it was an accident. At least there's not enough proof in this coroner's report to convince me.
You say it happened 4 days ago?
Yes?
Has a claim been filed yet?
Yes, and the beneficiary is the deceased's widow.
Inquest?
Inquest, burial, everything.
Was there an autopsy?
No, there was not.
Investigation?
Yes, it was handled by the local police in San Ladillo.
San what? Oh.
San Ladillo, a little place about 30 miles south of Los Angeles.
4 days ago. Why didn't you put someone on it then?
I did. Bert Kenyon. Here's his last report.
No evidence available to dispute coroner's verdict of accidental drowning. Recommend claim be honored. Kenyon. Sounds like cold turkey to me.
It may sound that way to you, but I still don't like it. I want it warmed up.
Now, look, Bert Kenyon knows his way around.
And he can miss like anyone else. I want you to go out there and work with him. Cover it all again. Get at DeSalle's widow. She stands to gain most by his death. Maybe the two of you can come up with something.
Well, what do you do about the claim?
Deny liability on the grounds that the accident is not proven.
Hillary, you will be sued.
I'll take that chance.
Fuchs was an old chance taker who had been raised in the insurance business. The kind of man who gave a claim every kind of test, and if it still passed, he sat down and smelled the paper it was written on. And if he didn't like that, he'd take his chance. Expense account item 2, $138, plane fare to Los Angeles. Item 3, $3. A telegram to Bert Kenyon advising him of my arrival, which turned out to be at 1 o'clock in the morning, 10 minutes ahead of a fog that blanked out the whole area at the airport.
Johnny Dollar!
What? Oh, hey, Bert. How are you?
Johnny, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Come on, I got a car.
Well, have you got a cigarette? I ran out 2 hours ago.
Sure, man. Here you go. Well, good to see you. Good to see you, boy.
The last time I saw Bert Kenyon was July, a year ago, in Dayton, Ohio. He was there working on an arson claim for the National Underwriters. Before that, I'd run into him in Denver, Portland, and Chicago. And we'd worked together for 2 weeks in New Orleans on the San Antonio case. He sent me a Christmas card every year. I sent him one. We were as close and as far apart as two friends can be. When I saw him this time, he looked tired and thinner. And he lit one cigarette after the other.
You'll like San Ladillo, Johnny.
Yeah? How's the hotel?
Oh, old Spanish job. Big rooms, fireplaces, smells kind of damp all the time. You get used to it. Are you tired?
Yeah. Well, tell me about the claim, Bert.
Nothing to tell. Routine so far.
Oh, Fuchs was pretty worried about it. He doesn't like the coroner's report.
Ah, you know, Fuchs, worry. That's what he gets paid for.
Oh, that's what we get paid for, too.
Okay. On the face of it, I'd question the claim right away. Just on the 3 months period alone, I'd question it.
You still think it was an accident?
I think we should pay up and shut up. I'd like to have met this DeSalle guy, Johnny. Stocks and bonds and pretty blondes. He sure had 'em all. Wait till you meet Mrs. DeSalle. Wait till you see the layup. Boy. And Fuchs worrying about a $100,000 claim. Do you know how much DeSalle's widow is worth? $8 million. $100,000 means about that much to her. Not that much. Peanuts. You want to hear something funny? Real funny?
Go on.
DeSalle bought that policy one day at the racetrack at Del Mar. Yeah, because an insurance broker gave him a tip on a horse. Yeah. I can just see Fuchs worrying about his $100,000 and finding out about that part.
How did you find out about it?
Mrs. DeSalle, she told me the story.
What about her?
Now, what about her?
She's the beneficiary.
Well, I told you, $100,000 doesn't mean a thing to her. Why would she kill him for $100,000?
Why not?
Fuchs sent you out here to take over because he thinks I lost up, didn't he, Johnny?
He sent me out to see if I could give you a hand. He wants us to cover the whole thing again.
Wouldn't kid an old pal, would you?
I'd never try, Bert.
I bet you wouldn't. I just bet you wouldn't.
In another 10 minutes, we were in San Ladillo, a sprawling little town built around a natural harbor. The houses looked expensive, the boats even more expensive. Kenyon pointed out one house on a hill, a 3-story affair with an acre or so of lawns around it. He explained it was the DeSalle home. I checked into the San Ladillo Hotel and got a good night's sleep. Next morning, Bert Kenyon and I went over to the statements of everyone who had been on the yacht the night DeSalle went overboard. Then we went out and interviewed everybody again, including Mrs. DeSalle.
This is getting awfully dull.
You understand we have to do this.
All right. Dave and I were having drinks with a few friends. He said he felt like getting a little air. He went up on deck. A few minutes later, someone was looking for him.
Mr. Burke.
It might have been.
Well, that's what's on your statement.
All right. Mr. Burke. We couldn't find Dave, and then I remembered he was on deck. We went up there and saw his hat floating on the water. We looked around. We didn't see him. I sent one of the crew to call for help. They fished him out an hour or so later.
You were never on deck until then?
No, I wasn't.
Who are they? You said they fished him out.
Police. Someone. I don't know. We're a lot of men. They tried to give him artificial respiration.
Well, what did you do?
I watched. What else was there to do?
Hard thing to watch, Mrs. DeSalle. Your husband just drowned.
Yes. Yes, it was. Is that all?
Yeah. That's all. Come in.
Hi. What's all this? Thought you'd be in bed.
Just going over the reports again.
Well, what do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to make up my mind, Bert. About Mrs. DeSalle. The way she looks, the way she acts.
I told you she was something.
Yeah, sure. 50 men would sell their souls to be tied up with her one way or another. She had help, Bert.
What?
She had to have help to kill him. A dozen people swear she was below drinking martinis with him, so someone was up on deck waiting for DeSalle.
What have you got to go on?
DeSalle swam the English Channel 20 years ago. He should have been able to swim 20 feet to a gangplank. Drunk or sober, he should have been able to do that.
I knew about that swimming business. Expert swimmers drown all the time. We both know that. What else?
Well, why didn't somebody hear him yell?
Maybe he didn't.
Everybody lets out a yell in a situation like that, falling or in the water. There were a dozen people aboard. One of them should have heard him yell.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
All right, suppose he didn't yell. But suppose this coroner made a mistake about the bruises on the side of his head. Suppose they happened before he went over the side.
It'd be hard to prove now, Johnny.
Oh, look, she's got a boyfriend somewhere, Bert. She had to have one. The servants can be gone over. Somebody at the house has seen him. He's called her, sent her messages. He's our boy. We can bring him out in the open. We'll get help from Los Angeles. We'll call the legal department and get them busy. Get permission to exhume the body and have an autopsy. We'll
Johnny,
What?
let this one go, huh?
What?
Drop it. It's just lousy enough to get by, Fuchs.
We got a good case, Bert.
I know. I've known it all along, Johnny.
A sellout?
Mrs. DeSalle offered me the whole 100,000. The whole 100,000, Johnny, to let it get by.
Who helped you do it?
I don't know. I wasn't interested anymore when she came up with the offer. Look, what does DeSalle mean to you and me? Nothing. He had a whole life, the best it could give him. We can't bring him back. I'll split the 100,000 with you, Johnny. We'd have a little chance for some things, too. Johnny?
Bert.
No deal?
No deal.
You're a good dick, Johnny. Stand up.
Oh, put that thing away.
I've been looking a long time for a mark like this. Now you've lost it up, and I have to beat it. Turn around.
Bert.
So long, Johnny.
I went down to my knees trying to hold onto the desk. I saw him stand there a minute, like he might want to help me. And then he was gone. I did everything I could to make my feet, but my legs wouldn't work. And then it was all over.
Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in just a moment.
Democracy. What does it mean? The word itself is of Greek origin. Demos meaning the people, and kratos meaning authority. Thus, in a democracy, the people have the authority to rule themselves. But where does the authority come from? The authority comes from the people themselves. They put it in their constitution, and the constitution can't be changed by anyone except the people. That puts the supreme power of the government of a democratic country right in the hands of the people, and the people elect their representatives to run the government. In that manner, democracy gives everyone equal representation in the government. Democracy provides mankind with its greatest legacy of freedom.
Now, Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the DeSalle matter.
The light on the desk was the first thing I saw. It was still on. The window was still open. The room was the way it had been before. I kept thinking about every man having a price and how Bert Kenyon had settled for $100,000. It seemed like a fair price. It also seemed too bad there was no way for him to collect it. There were two of them, a heavy-set man about 50 years old and a tall, lean-faced man with dark eyes. They looked me over.
Your name, Dollar?
Yeah.
Police. We want to talk to you. My name's Blair. This is Sergeant LaFrida. You sick or something?
I bumped my head.
How?
Never mind. Well, what do you want?
We'll ask the questions. What are you doing in San Ladillo?
I'm standing around in a hotel room talking to a couple of cops.
Just answer up.
Don't be funny, fella.
I don't feel even a little bit funny.
You got a license to carry this gun?
Hey, what is this?
Have you?
Yes. Your meat-handed friend ought to put it down or it might go off.
Been fired, Tom?
Meat-handed, huh?
That's what I said.
I'll remember that.
Okay. Tell us about it. Tell us what you're doing here. And don't waste a lot of time doing it.
I'm an insurance investigator. Tell this goon to back away and undouble his fist or I'll break a chair over his head.
Are you going to try to be tough, baby?
I'm going to try to find out what this is all about.
You want me to pop him open to see if he's as tough as he sounds?
Behave yourself, Tom. Let's see something that says you're an insurance dick.
Top of the dresser.
Bring it over, Tom.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Now tell us what you're doing in town.
The DeSalle case. Now, you tell
You
me
know
what
Bert Kenyon?
I know him. I've been working with him.
Well, he's been around town 4 or 5 days. We haven't seen you.
I only got here this morning.
You could prove all that, could you?
Oh, sure. With a plane ticket, with a hotel clerk downstairs, with a bellhop who brought up my luggage, with a dozen people or more I've talked to today.
And tonight? What about tonight?
Right here.
You could prove that, too?
Try the clerk downstairs. Ask Kenyon.
Where is Kenyon?
I don't know.
You ought to know.
Why don't you sit down, Tom?
Okay.
Now, when did you see Kenyon last?
A couple of hours ago.
Now, tell us what you talked about, and don't forget anything.
We talked about the DeSalle case.
Kenyon have something new on it?
No.
Don't hold out on me, boy. This is police business. Tom here's pretty edgy for a cop, but I'll turn him loose on you if I have to, because I haven't got a whole lot of time to waste being sweet.
Tom worries me to death.
One more minute. Just one more minute is all I'm going to take off this guy.
Oh, shut up. I'll ask you again, Dollar. What's new on the DeSalle case? What did Kenyon tell you? The way we look at it, you came out here because something new popped up that might take 2 guys to handle it.
Look at it any way you want to.
Blair, you going to take this stuff?
Never mind. Okay. Get your hat and coat, Dollar. We're going to see a fella.
Not unless I know why. And I mean that.
Dollar, your buddy's been killed.
What?
Kenyon. Somebody shot him up an hour ago.
I put on my clothes and we went downstairs and climbed into a battered-looking police car. Tom LaFrida drove. I sat with Blair in the back seat. No one said anything. A half a mile out of San Ladillo, we turned onto the main highway and drove to a spot about 2 miles away, all-night filling station. There were a couple of highway patrol cars there, an ambulance, and men in dark suits who looked the way policemen always look.
Wait here. Keep an eye on him, Tom.
Sure.
Be just a minute.
He's a soft old gink.
I suppose you're hard.
I know how to handle pinballs like you. Before we're through, you and me, we'll have it out.
Okay, Dollar. Get out.
Yeah, sure.
Tom, put the spotlight on him.
Okay.
Good. Now, Posey. Posey, take a good look at this man. You ever seen him before?
No?
Look good. Take your time, boy.
No, man I saw was shorter by this much. He wasn't as husky.
Okay. You go in back of your place there and get some sleep, boy.
That all?
There'll be more by morning. Go along now.
Sure. Night.
What was all that?
Tom, get out. You stick
Sure.
around here with Dick and Wally.
Okay. You're the boss.
You get in the front, Dollar. You're lucky Posey didn't recognize you.
I suppose I am. Why?
An hour ago, Posey's pumping gas. He hears 3 or 4 shots off in the dark. Then a car starts up and gets out of there real fast. Then Posey sees your pal Kenyon stagger out across the highway, full of lead. Kenyon drops dead right in front of the station. That's him they're mopping up now. We had half an idea you might have been the man beaten in the car.
That's a dumb idea.
Yeah, he was shot close up, like it was somebody he was just standing talking to. An old friend. You're an old friend of his.
Blair, you got it all wrong.
Huh?
We haven't been friends for 3 hours. His full name was George Blair. He'd been on the Los Angeles force 12 years. Then they retired him at half pay when a holdup man shot off part of his right foot. He'd taken the San Ladillo job because it was the only police force he could find that would take a man who limped more than a little. Expense account item 4, 20 cents coffee for Lieutenant Blair and myself.
I don't know. Maybe we went at you the wrong way in that hotel room. That's my fault. But a man's been murdered, and I get excited about things like that.
I don't blame you.
No hard feelings.
No. As long as I don't have to do business with your boy, Tom.
Yeah, I got Tom LaFrida and 3 other boys. None of them worth the press in their pants. I need help, darling.
What?
This town's popping open tonight. Your buddy got it. It's tied in with this DeSalle thing somewhere. You're sure he didn't have anything new for you?
No.
You wouldn't want to tell me about that bump in your head, would you?
Not right now, no.
My boys are so green, they tromped all over the boat the night DeSalle drowned. They loused up anything that might have helped me to find out how he went over the side. They banged his head against the dock a few times, bringing him in. I couldn't tell if the bruises were there before or after he was in the water.
You don't think DeSalle's was accidental?
I was murdered. She had somebody do it.
Well, why didn't any of that come out in the coroner's report?
My coroner runs a drugstore when he isn't being a coroner. If you feed him enough scotch, he'll tell you whether somebody's dead or not. He don't know from nothing. You know, the thing that kind of got me was this Kenyon. He went along with that coroner's report.
I know that.
We both know that. All right, I'll lay it on the line. I need help, Dollar. If I'm going to get anything done, find out who killed Kenyon, and get at this DeSalle thing, I need help.
All right, I'll help you.
I was hoping you'd say that. More coffee?
No.
Dollar.
What?
You can start by telling me about that bruise in your head.
Kenyon.
He sold out, did he?
Yeah. To Mrs. DeSalle. He covered up for her in the reports he sent in. A man back in Hartford got suspicious and sent me out to make a recheck.
Yeah, I guess something like that. No dummies, those claims men. Look, who'd he say was in on it?
He didn't say. I don't think he really knew. At least not any more than you and me.
No wonder you didn't want to talk up that kind of news. Kind of hurts, doesn't it? Like having a bad cop around.
You should know.
I know. Well, how do you feel?
Mister, I feel lousy. A friend of mine's been shot. What's more, he died a bum.
Well, I'm talking about dropping in on people while the smoke's still hanging around.
Mrs. DeSalle?
Yeah.
Let's go. It was about 6:45 in the morning when we left the diner. By 7:30, we were winding up the driveway to the DeSalle mansion overlooking the ocean. Blair mumbled things about the fog lifting and what a nice day it would be. I smoked cigarettes and looked and watched the contented smile he kept on his face.
Well, what do you know? Tommy LaFrida's car.
Well, what does that mean?
Well, let's find out. Tom was off duty at 6 o'clock, as far as I know. I told you it was going to be a nice day.
Yeah, you did it then.
Nice place.
The only thing nicer is Buckingham Palace.
Mrs. DeSalle picks up all these little knickknacks when they probate that will. The boat down there, everything. Nice.
Yes?
Mrs. DeSalle, please.
At this hour of the morning. She's still asleep.
We kind of guessed she might be in bed. You tell her the police are here and want to talk to her.
Police?
Now, you got it.
Yes, sir. Just a moment.
That's you, Blair?
Hello, Tom.
I'm waiting to see her, too. Thought she might have a little something to say that'd help in that Kenyon killing and be willing...
You remember Mr. Dollar?
Mister?
That's what I said, Tom.
What is this?
He's giving me a hand.
You trust him.
Better than I do you.
Kind of a crack is that?
No crack. Just that you're always talking when you ought to be listening. Besides that, you've been drinking again. Go on, get your hat and get out of here.
Don't
I just gave you an order. Beat it.
Okay.
He'd like to kill somebody, that bird.
I'm not so sure he didn't. You got a gun in that coat?
No.
Take mine.
What?
I don't like him being here. It just came to me. He was the first one down at the dock the night DeSalle got it. The first one.
Her boyfriend?
Could be.
I can't awaken Mrs. DeSalle. You'll have to come later.
Well, we'll handle that part. Which room is hers?
But you can't come in here.
Which room?
Top of the stairs, the first door.
Oh, you run along and buy yourself a cup of coffee. Come on, Dollar.
You can't go up there at this hour of the morning and break in on her.
Mrs. DeSalle.
No.
Hey, get the light switch.
Yeah.
Come near me, please. Don't come near me, please. Please. Oh, please, I won't tell. I won't tell anyone.
Mrs. DeSalle, I just... Beaten up.
Good Lord.
Please. Oh, please don't.
Look, Mrs. DeSalle, we aren't going to hurt you. Tell us who did this to you. Tell us why. Tom LaFrida? Was it Tom? Tom helped you get rid of your husband, is that right? We know that's right. Now, what about Kenyon?
Tom killed him.
LaFrida killed him. Why?
He wanted money to get away. Tom said it'd be easier to kill him off than let him go.
Tom did this.
Yeah.
Why?
He said people would be around to see me. Not to talk about anything. Not to talk about anything.
This is George Blair. Get an ambulance over to the DeSalle place, fast.
He said he loved me. He never loved anything in his life.
You big, fat pig. Turn around and get it.
I'll warn you, Tom. Dollar's got my gun.
He's next. You look at mine.
You all right?
Okay, here's one in the ceiling. You?
Okay. He's gone. What made him, Dollar? What made him?
All these knickknacks. And her. Expense account item 5, $25. One phone call to Hartford. I told Hilary Fuchs the whole story, and he promised to send out the necessary legal aid. Item 6, $10. Flowers for Bert Kenyon. Item 7, $2. One drink. To one good cop with a bad foot. The drink cost $1. The glass cost $1. The drink for the good. The smashed glass for the bad. Oh, yeah, it was hammy, but it made me feel... Expense account total, $416. Remarks, none. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, one of the sweetest old characters I ever met. And with him, one of the cleverest killers. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood. It is written by John Dawson and is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Harry Bartell, John Stevenson, Will Wright, James McCallion, and Ben Wright. Musical supervision is by Amerigo Marino. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Dan Cumberly speaking.
Johnny Dollar has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Dave Lawler, Johnny, over at Surety Mutual and Trust Company.
Oh, hi, Dave. Long time.
Yeah, I know. Listen, do you own a pair of dark sunglasses and some real loud sports shirts?
Mine are so loud I have to keep them in a soundproof drawer.
Great. But where you'll be at this time tomorrow, nobody will get my second look.
Oh? Like where?
Well, according to the travel folders, it's, quote, the land where the summer spends the winter, unquote. In other words...
Palm Springs, California. Dave, you're on.
Good.
But don't forget, this could be pretty expensive for your company.
Oh, more than you know, Johnny. $75,000 hard cash.
Ah, oui.
Unless you're able to prove the bracelet Dan Galloway gave to his child bride wasn't really stolen.
For a trip to Palm Springs at this time of year, I think I could prove anything.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Home Office, Surety Mutual and Trust Company, Franklin Building, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the suntan oil matter. Expense account item 1, $197.40. Airline fare and incidentals, Hartford to Palm Springs, California. I registered at La Casa de Paz on South Palm Canyon Drive, changed into casual clothes, and sauntered over to police headquarters. Detective Sergeant Lacey was about to leave for lunch, so I went along with him.
Yeah, Dollar. You'd be surprised at how much stuff is lost in this town during the course of just one season.
The report we got says it was stolen, Sergeant.
Oh, sure. But I doubt it.
A $75,000 bracelet, just 5 days old? That'd be a little careless of the lady, wouldn't it?
Well, if you were married to one of the biggest wildcatters in the oil business, maybe you could afford to be careless.
What about Dan Galloway? Didn't you say he was drilling somewhere around here?
About 80 miles south, in the middle of the desert, down by Salton Sea.
Salton Sea. Oh, that's really a big inland lake that lies way down below sea level, isn't it?
Want to bring me a check, Dottie? 245 feet below sea level, Dollar.
There's oil there?
Dan Galloway figures it this way. One of the most successful new fields that's been worked in years is deep under the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Louisiana. There are a lot of salt domes down there, and underneath them are big pools of oil, millions of barrels. So, why not under the Salton Sea, which is all salt deposits?
Who knows? Maybe he has something. Anybody else drilling down there?
Just Galloway. Who else needs it? I mean, any more than he does.
Well, does he?
All yours, Dottie. How would I know if Galloway needs it? But there has been talk around. You know.
But if he's hard up, how could he afford that fancy bracelet last week?
Yeah, or the snazzy Italian sports car the week before that. I don't know either, Dollar.
What about his wife?
Oh, that Roberta. What a doll. And in 3D, if you know what I mean. How an old coot like him could ever latch onto a pretty little chick like her? Ruff.
I take it Roberta's somewhat younger than her husband.
Oh, not more than 35, 40 years.
Oh, I see. How long have they been married?
2, maybe 3 years. Down in Dallas, I think it was. She's a Texas girl.
Well, is it working out? I mean, are they happy?
There's talk about that, too.
What kind of talk?
Oh, it's really just small-town gossip for the most part. Ever hear of Sonny Wyman?
Wyman? No.
Well, Sonny's around Roberta's age. One of those kids who came up from nothing, but all the time knew exactly where he was going. You know, made a point of meeting the right people, shaking the right hands. Real nice kid, too.
What's he do?
Well, when the season's over here, he works Pasadena, Beverly Hills, and L.A. Always has something that'll intrigue his wealthy friends. This season, it's Italian sports cars. Cosmo Romas, I think they are.
And he's the one who sold the Galloways theirs, huh?
He sold Roberta hers.
Any angle there in connection with the bracelet?
There is. You let me know.
Well, if there isn't, what have you been working up to?
Well, actually, nothing. You see, I still believe it was lost.
Expense account item 2, $35 for rental of a drive-your-own car. I found the Galloway place about 2 miles out north and east of town. As I parked in the broad U-shaped driveway, I noticed a low, shiny suntan color sports car standing in the shade of a date palm back by the garage. I started over to take a look at it, but the front door of the house opened, a Filipino boy appeared, took my name, and showed me into the living room. Through the solid wall of picture windows, I could see that the whole place was built around a kidney-shaped swimming pool. Mighty inviting. And so was Roberta, Mrs. Galloway, when she stepped into the room a minute or two later.
Hi there, Mr. Dollar. My, it's nice of you to come all the way out here.
Yeah, Sergeant Lacey was right. Roberta was a living doll. 22 or 3, trim, petite, and with a figure that... Well, let's not go into that. She said it would be more comfortable out on the lanai beside the pool.
I just wish there was something I could tell you about that bracelet that'd help you find it, Mr. Dollar, but... Well, just must have been stolen.
Well, it makes no difference insofar as your claim is concerned, Mrs. Galloway. The company will still have to pay up, you know, unless, of course, it's found.
Oh, I know that. How do you go about your investigation? I mean, do you offer a reward or something?
Usually, yes. Of course, it depends on...
How much have they offered for my bracelet?
Well, frankly, I haven't checked on that yet. But now, Mrs.
How
Galloway...
much would you guess, Johnny?
Well, claim this size, probably somewhere between 10 and 30%.
What's the matter, Johnny? Your ear's out a mile.
Nothing. I just thought I heard...
Now, that's funny. I didn't hear a thing.
But I had. Quick footsteps somewhere in the house. Then a door open and close. Then a few seconds later, the unmistakable growl of a high-powered engine thundering out through twin straight pipes.
Oh, that. Probably some hot rod fan in the neighborhood just drove by. Aren't they
She prattled on for another hour or so and again asked about possibilities of a reward for her bracelet. But so far as helpful information was concerned, she came up with nothing. So I excused myself and drove back to town. I wanted to talk to the driver of that sports car. I also wanted to check with Whodunit Van Hook, the jeweler who had sold the bracelet. I found his shop on Palm Canyon Drive, a small place, but very ultra. As I was about to enter the door...
Hey, Mr. Dollar, got a minute?
Oh, yeah, sure. 2 or 3 minutes. And I like your car. Mr. Wyman, isn't it?
That's right. How'd you know?
How'd you know mine?
Yeah, real cloak and dagger stuff, huh? You knew I was out at Berta's house, didn't you?
Well, it seemed pretty obvious when I heard you hot-footed for the door, then heard this pint-sized monster of yours barrel off.
Hey, you wouldn't like to buy a Cosmo Roma, would you? It's a real dilly.
Oh, I'd like nothing better, but I'm out here on a job.
Yeah, I know. That's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Well, you know anything that'll help me?
Not much, I'm afraid. But I'll be glad to tell you anything I can. You going in to see Willie?
Willie?
Yeah, you know, Whodunit Van Hook, the jeweler.
I was, yeah. Why? Do you know him?
Know him. I sold him one of these. One exactly like mine. And we're both going to be in the rally they're holding next Sunday. You ever see a good sports car race?
No, I'm afraid not.
Well, we'll soon fix that. And look, after you've talked to Willie, if you want to go down to where Dan Galloway is drilling his new well, I'll be glad to give you a lift.
Good idea. But I don't want to take you out of your way.
Oh, not at all. I was going that way anyhow. Besides, I thought it might give us a chance to talk a little.
Sure, Wyman. Why not? With a name like Whodunit Van Hook, I expected... Well, I don't know what I expected. As it turned out, he was a smartly dressed chap of about 40, tall and slim, blonde hair and quick blue eyes, an alert mind. I told him why I was in Palm Springs, showed him my credentials, and he immediately offered full cooperation.
Now, here we are, Mr. Dollar. Here's a copy of the appraisal. A duplicate of the statement I sent Dan Galloway. And here, yes, here's a sketch of the bracelet.
Ah, very good.
Diamonds here, emeralds, and the mounting is yellow gold. Hand-worked, all of it.
Mm-hmm. One thing I can't help wondering about, Mr. Van Hook.
Yes?
Isn't a $75,000 bracelet a bit unusual for a shop in a resort town?
As a matter of fact, it is. As you can see, I specialize in rare and exclusive sort of things. But very little over, say, $10,000 or $12,000.
Then the Galloway bracelet was an exception.
Yes. After Dan told me what he had in mind to give to his wife, I had some sent over from Pasadena and Los Angeles by wholesalers with whom I do business. You know, had them shipped down on consignment. He liked one, and that was that.
I see.
Mr. Dollar, I wouldn't want this to go any farther, of course. But after all, jewelers and insurance companies are... Well, our businesses are pretty well tied together, at least on occasion.
Yes, unfortunately. But what are you getting at?
I'll tell you. 2 days after the bracelet was delivered, one morning, just as I was opening up, Dan came in here.
So?
He was ill at ease, looked worried. He said he had to have some cash quickly. He asked if I could possibly refund his money.
Oh? Did you?
No, because I couldn't. Things have been rather slow for me this season. Quite frankly, I'd used all I'd made on the bracelet to pay up some old bills. I told him as much and that I was sorry, but I just couldn't help him.
Did Galloway say why he had to have that much cash right away?
Yes.
Well?
I don't know much about oil drilling, but as I understand it, his test well is down some 400 feet further than he'd planned on going. And the day before he came in here, something on his rig had broken loose and left him with a highly expensive repair job before he could proceed any further. Apparently, it was all very serious and very expensive.
Strange, his wife didn't seem to be bothered. I just talked to her.
Berta? Believe me, Mr. Dollar, she wouldn't be. In fact, I doubt if she even knows.
Oh?
Figure it out for yourself. A man of nearly 60 who has to give bracelets and fancy cars to his wife to keep up her interest. Well, you'd hardly expect him to tell her that kind of news, now would you?
No, I suppose not. Especially if he's worried about the competition.
And if you ask me, he has competition. If only he could see it.
That suntan and chrome Cosmorama was all Sonny Wyman claimed it was. It purred like a kitten, performed beautifully. But I was more interested at the moment in what Sonny wanted to talk about.
Johnny, I'm going to be perfectly blunt with you.
I'll go along with that.
Out at the house a while ago, I felt pretty foolish when you arrived, and Berta insisted I hide until she could get you out on the lanai.
Did she have any particular reason?
Well, you see, we know that... Well, there's some talk going around about Berta and me.
Any truth in it, Sonny?
A little, I guess. You saw her.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, there's nothing serious between us. It's just that, well, with Dan away so much of the time, we have fun together.
Yeah, sure. Now, what about the bracelet?
You mean who might have stolen it?
That's the general idea.
I don't know. I have no idea. That sound funny to you?
Should it?
Well, after all, Dan and Berta keeping their house open to everybody. People in to swim, play badminton, cocktails, barbecues. I guess half the population of Palm Springs has been there at one time or another. And even if it weren't an invited guest, why, it'd be simple for someone to just sneak in and walk off with it.
Providing, of course, they knew where it was kept.
Well, yeah, someone who was close enough to... Oh, yeah, I heard Berta ask you about a reward for it.
You think a big enough reward would turn it up?
I would think so. I understand that stolen jewelry brings about 20 cents on the dollar.
Sometimes it brings 20 cents. Sometimes 20 years.
Well, yeah. Well, I just wondered.
How's the car business doing, Sonny?
Oh, great. It's really one of the reasons I'm driving out this way.
Oh, a prospect? An oil-rich Indian or a well-to-do prairie dog?
Hardly. No, I told you we were having a sports car rally on Sunday. Well, being the promoter, so to speak, I'm going down to check the course. If you're still around, you ought to come.
Oh, maybe I will.
Having some good events, too. Willie Van Hook and I are running a match race. He's quite a bug, you know. And ever since I sold him the twin to this job, he's been working it over. Special carburetor, racing cams, everything.
Yeah, no wonder I can't afford this kind of stuff.
Oh, man. You'd be amazed at the amount of money that changes hands on
wait a
some of
minute,
these races.
Sonny. Isn't that an oil rig over there?
Yeah, Dan Galloway's. The rig itself's about 50 feet out in the lake. The shack or office or whatever you want to call it's over the other way. You see? About a quarter of a mile beyond those Joshua trees. I'll drive you over.
He did. There was an old car parked near the shack, so we figured Dan Galloway must be inside. Sonny Wyman dropped me in front of it, then took off in a cloud of dust and exhaust gas. I picked my way between the cactus plants, opened the door without knocking, and barged right in. Mr. Oh,
hello.
No use asking if Mr. Galloway is here. I can see he isn't.
No, he isn't.
Is it all right if I wait? I'm Johnny Dollar.
I'm Mrs. Galloway, Mr. Dollar.
Huh?
Hell, that is, I'm the first Mrs. Galloway. The former. The one who scrimped and saved while Dan was booming around every oil field all over the country trying to make his score. I'm the forgotten Mrs. Galloway.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Are you expecting him back soon?
Who knows? I've been waiting here 3 hours. But I'll wait 3 days if I have to. Promises, that's all. Promises.
What do you mean, Mrs. Galloway?
After working to help him the way I did for all those years, and then to be tossed over for somebody else who never did a lick of work in her life. Oh, sure. Give me anything I want if I let him free. So what have I got? Promises.
Well, I'm sorry. But getting all upset is going to help.
Well, wouldn't you be upset if you had more than $18,000 in back alimony coming to you? And with them living like royalty?
Oh, I see.
Well, he's not going to keep on getting away with it. That's why I'm here.
Well, now that gun in your handbag isn't the answer, I'm afraid.
How'd you know?
I've seen that kind of bulge in a handbag before. You really have ideas about using it on him? Well?
Well, I don't know. There are times when I feel as though killing would be too good for him. Then there are other times when... I don't know.
Well, here, better let me
No,
have it.
leave me alone.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and try to make sense with somebody as upset as you are who has a gun.
Well, how would you feel? What would you do if you were me?
How should I know? But killing him isn't the answer.
Isn't it?
Or sitting here shouting at me.
Who are you anyway? What are you doing here?
I came out here to see your husband, your ex-husband, on business.
What kind of business?
A friend drove me out here and figured Dan would drive me back. But since he isn't around, there's no point in my staying here. Or you either.
Well, maybe you aren't
You
going
have
to
a car, so you and I are driving back to Palm Springs.
I'm not leaving here till I see Dan. Until I get some money from him. Or see him dead. Maybe he's at the well.
All right. Maybe he is over there. Now, come on. Why I took this on, I didn't know. But I couldn't leave that slightly frantic woman sitting there, waiting, with murder in her heart. For all I knew, she'd murdered Dan already. Better inspect the gun later. The road down toward the oil rig was just a pair of ruts in the desert sand. Then, just as we cut in between some yucca plants and a wind-blown Joshua tree, I slammed on the brakes. There, in the middle of the trail, lay a man's body, crushed and twisted. Dan Galloway had been carefully, repeatedly run over by a car. Expense account item 3, $1.19 for a quick phone call to Sergeant Lacey in Palm Springs and smelling salts and a bromide for Florida, the ex-Mrs. Galloway. Then I dropped her off at the Galloway house. She and Roberta ended up consoling each other while I huddled with Lacey in his office at headquarters.
Some of the boys are still out there, Dollar, checking tire prints, taking pictures, and so on.
No clue as to who ran Galloway down?
Not yet. Looked to me as though Galloway stepped out of his own car to see whoever had pulled up in the other and was run down for his trouble. The car that did it ran around in a circle over and over him.
Any suspects, Sergeant?
You found his ex-wife, Flora, waiting for him in the field office, you said.
That's right.
And she was pretty nervous, on edge, you said.
So?
Also, she was carrying a gun.
Whoa, now, wait a minute.
Any reason why she couldn't have run him down earlier, then gone back and just waited for somebody like you to come along? Somebody with whom she could then discover the body?
Only one hitch.
You told me yourself, Dollar, that she was pretty insistent about your going over there to look for Galloway.
Yeah, I know. But, Sergeant, you're off on the wrong foot.
Why?
Because of the tracks left by the killer's car. They didn't match the tires on Flora's car.
You checked?
I checked. And if I were you, I'd have your boys find out whose car did make those tracks.
I'm way ahead of you.
Well, if you know, then what do you...
Hey, wait a second. Yeah?
Levine, Sergeant. I got news for you.
Hey, listen to this, Dollar.
About those tire tracks at the scene of the killing.
Well, right on cue.
They're the same make and size as the tires on Sonny Wyman's Cosmo Roma.
You sure?
Well, I told you at the scene I thought it was a sports car by the small size of the circle the tracks made.
Yeah?
And knowing the feeling between Wyman and Galloway, I went right over to his place. Nice, clean tracks all over. And they match.
You holding Wyman?
Oh, well, I don't know where he is, Sergeant. He wasn't at his place, and there was no answer to the phone at his showroom.
Well, then get after him. Put out a flash on him. With that car, he shouldn't be too hard to find. Let me know when he's picked up.
Yes, sir.
What do you think, Sergeant?
You know something, Dollar? I have a notion that when we find Sonny Wyman, we'll also find out what happened to that bracelet.
Yeah, could be. One thing was certain. Dan Galloway could no longer be suspect in the case. But Roberta? Why not? Maybe she did know that Dan had run out of money. Maybe that's why she was so interested in the amount of reward for the bracelet. Now, what about Sonny Wyman? Well, it looked bad. A smart young opportunist out for the fast buck. And, of course, close to Galloway's wife. Anything he could do to hurt Galloway would help him. And now these tire tracks, the one solid clue to Galloway's killer. Sergeant Lacey and I drove out to the Galloway house.
No, Johnny, I haven't seen Sonny since he left here this afternoon. That's when you were here.
He didn't call up?
Why should he call up?
Why shouldn't he call, Roberta, if he'd heard that Dan was killed?
Now, you listen here, Mr. Dollar. If you're trying to trick me into saying something about Sonny having anything to do with Dan's death, you're wasting your time. And what's more... Pardon me. Hello? Oh, yes. Just a minute. For you, Sergeant Lacey.
Oh, thanks. Hello? Yes? Yes, when? Yeah, I see. Okay, Levine, thanks.
Has he found Sonny Wyman?
He sure has. And if you want to see him, you'll have to go to the coroner's office.
What?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that souped-up car of his, a couple of miles out of town. Ran off a curve and over a 100-foot bank.
Within minutes, Lacey and I were at the scene of the accident, looking things over with the help of flashlights.
Yeah, he must have been really burning up the road to spin and roll this far off the highway.
But surely he must have been familiar with that curve.
Oh, sure. He knew these roads around here as well as anybody in the county.
Tires still in one piece, too. And these sport cars usually corner pretty well.
Well, this one didn't.
Hey, Lacey, look here.
Yeah?
This left rear fender. Looks to me like this car was sideswiped.
Hey, you're right. Rolling over'd never make a long crease like that.
Uh-huh.
No, wait. If another car sideswiped him, there'd be paint on this fender. Paint from the other car.
Sergeant, you're absolutely right.
And since there's none here...
Sergeant, you're absolutely wrong. How far to the nearest filling station?
What?
I want to make a couple of calls to some wholesale jewelers in Pasadena and Los Angeles.
Right now, in the middle of the night?
Right now.
Wholesale jewelers?
Expense account item 4, $11.90, phone calls to Pasadena and L.A. The third call yielded Mr. Alfred Mencken of Mencken Imports Incorporated, who was pretty cheerful about having been gotten out of bed.
It's quite all right, Mr. Dollar. Now that I'm up, I'm wide awake almost.
Well, I hate to throw something like this at you in the middle of the night, Mr. Mencken, but tell me, please, did you ship a diamond and emerald bracelet to Will Hoyt Van Hook in Palm Springs within the past few weeks?
Why, yes, Mr. Dollar.
Oh?
As a matter of fact, I sent him 3. That was 2 weeks ago, and he returned them all.
Returned them? When?
Well, 2 of them the day after he got them. But the third one he kept for a while. I got it back just last Thursday. Now, I don't know if that means anything to you.
You bet it does. Thanks very much. Lacey and I piled into one squad car, 4 patrolmen in another. It was several miles out to the little ranch where Van Hook lived, and Lacey and I chewed it over as we drove along.
Don't hold out on me, Johnny. Whatever made you think of Willie Van Hook is the one who drove Sonny Wyman off the road?
Well, apparently there was no paint on that fender from the car that sideswiped him. Actually, there was.
Holy... Of course. Van Hook's car is exactly the same color as Sonny's.
Another thing. The car that ran down Galloway, like the one Sonny drove, even down to the tires, but not necessarily the same car. Plus the fact I couldn't help wondering about Van Hook all along.
Yeah, but why?
In a job like mine, you have to wonder about everybody connected with a case.
Anything particular about Van Hook?
Well, he told me that he'd used the money he got from Galloway to pay off some overdue bills. And yet, a few weeks ago, he was able to buy an $8,000 sports car.
It ties up, Dollar. It all ties up. But how did Sonny Wyman figure in it?
Oh, Sonny was a fellow who lived by his wits. He may have reached the same conclusion about Van Hook that I did. May have had an idea for latching onto the reward money. He mentioned the matter of reward to me a couple of times.
Or he may have had ideas for blackmailing Van Hook.
Another thing. Van Hook saw me drive away from his shop in Sonny's car. That meant he had to act fast, get rid of Galloway, who'd given him back the bracelet, and, of course, take Sonny out of the picture, too.
Yeah, it all seems to add up very nicely. And when we face Van Hook, well, there's his place now. Yeah, here's his driveway.
Well, either he's skipped out or he's asleep. No lights on in the place.
Well, if you ask me, he's far...
No, wait.
Yeah?
That third window on the right. The blind was pulled away for a second or two.
Well, then let's get out of this car. We're sitting ducks in here.
Well, how about it, Sergeant? What do we do?
You boys split up. Cover the back and sides of the house.
He's in there?
Yeah.
Okay, boys. Come on.
Johnny, maybe you better keep out of this.
Are you kidding? Hey, listen.
That car door, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I know.
Holy... What's he up to? Gonna lock himself in and take the monoxide route?
Come on. Are there back doors in that garage?
Not that I know of. Here, wait a minute. Van Hook! This is the police! We've got men all around this place. Turn off that engine and come out of there with your hands over your head. Don't be a fool, Van Hook. You haven't got a chance. Come out of that garage.
Hey, did you see that? He drove right through the door of his garage.
Come on, Lacey, the car.
Get after him, you guys. Get moving.
Yeah, come on, boys.
Crazy fool. He's getting into the side-swiping habit. See what he did to that other patrol car?
Yeah, they're okay. They're off and tailing us. Come on, step on it, Lacey.
This is one time we ought to have a Cosmo Roma.
Well, maybe he can outrun us, but with 2 cars on his tail, he may get careless, take chances. If so...
Yeah, hang on.
Oh! Lacey, you could qualify for some of those road races yourself.
That guy's out of his head. Main highway like this, full of trucks and trailers.
Oh, don't worry about those guys. Those interstate truckers will give you a clear road after them. They're the best drivers in the country. Come on, hit your siren.
You're right.
Hey, you see, I told you those guys would give you the road.
Holy... Look! The trailer in front of him. And the oncoming truck. Van Hook's trying to squeeze through.
Pull up, or we'll... Well, he squeezed through all right. Squeezed right through the pearly gates. Expense account item 5, $38.75, room, 2 meals, and valet service at the Casa de Paz. Item 6, $191.60, airfare and incidentals, Palm Springs, California, back to Hartford. Expense account total, $474.84. Remarks? Well, justice is done in pretty strange ways sometimes. Kind of makes you think. Maybe it pays to tread the straight and narrow, doesn't it? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, international intrigue. A beautiful girl and a very clever chemist. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood. It is written by Paul Franklin and is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Barbara Eiler, Paula Winslow, Forrest Lewis, Frank Nelson, Sam Edwards, Austin Green, and Shep Menken. Musical supervision is by Amerigo Marino. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Cubberly speaking.
Johnny Dollar has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
The bases are loaded and there's nobody out.
What?
And you're pitching, Johnny boy.
Bert McGraw.
Yep, right as rhubarb.
What's in your mind, Bert?
You in a job you didn't finish.
A job I didn't... What are you talking about?
The Mason-Dixon matter, remember?
Well, sure. Ruth Dixon's body was found on Newport Beach.
But you didn't find out who killed her, Johnny.
Johnny?
I figured that was a job for the police.
They want to talk to you about that. And so do we.
Oh?
Yeah, Ruth Dixon was insured with our company.
For how much?
$1,000.
1,000? You don't expect me to go back to Newport for the commission I'll make off that, do you?
Nope. But if you'll go, we'll foot the bill.
Oh, how come?
Tell you when you get here. Interested?
Yeah. Now.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Providential Assurance Company, 393 Dewey Avenue, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Dixon murder matter. Expense account item 1, $1.20 taxi from my apartment to the Providential building. Along the way, I did some thinking. A week ago, a girl's body had been found on Newport Beach. The Masons and the Dixons had each identified it as the body of their missing daughter. I managed to locate the Mason girl. That meant that Ruth Dixon was the girl on the beach. Who had killed Ruth? Well, I didn't figure that was my job. But evidently the brass at Providential did. Why? Well, I hope Bert McGraw would tell me.
Oh, Johnny, come in.
Morning, Bert.
About this Dixon matter. I suppose you're wondering why I was so anxious for you to go back to Newport.
Well, I am kind of curious, Bert.
Well, I told you, Ruth Dixon was insured with our company.
But for only $1,000, you'd save money by paying it off and forgetting it.
Maybe. But it isn't that easy.
Oh, why not?
Because of the Newport police, for one thing.
Well, what have they got to do with her insurance?
Well, not a thing. But they have got plenty to do with our company and its representatives. And last week, you were one of them.
So?
So, the Newport police, Captain Lewis of Homicide to be exact, called here this morning.
Who's Lewis? Miller was the man I worked with.
Lewis took over because Miller didn't follow up on you. And he's very unhappy with you, Johnny.
I can't imagine why.
No? Well, Captain Lewis says you left Newport without giving his office all the information you had on the Mason girl.
The Mason girl? What's she got to do with the Dixon investigation?
Well, how should I know?
Darla Mason didn't even know Ruth Dixon.
Lewis says different. But that's beside the point. We can't afford to have any police department in this country feeling the way the Newport boys do about our investigator.
Oh, come on now, Bert. It isn't at all that serious.
Johnny, we have to have police cooperation. And we can't force them to cooperate, so we try to build up a sufficient amount of goodwill.
But, Bert,
No, it's too late to apologize.
Who's apologizing?
Captain Lewis chewed out my boss. My boss did it to me, and I have orders to do it to you.
Okay, so get it over with.
Well, I'm almost through. Except that no matter what it costs us, it's going to be worth it to have goodwill restored. You understand?
Sure.
And whatever you do in Newport, please keep Captain Lewis informed. Hey, if you stumble onto something that might lead to the Dixon girl's killer, tell Lewis about it.
Okay, Bert, whatever you say.
No hard feelings, Johnny.
No. Everything's just fine.
Oh, good boy. Glad to see you understand.
For an expense account like the one you're going to get, I can understand the theory of relativity. I took a cab back to my apartment. That's item 2. Item 3, $18.50, transportation to Newport, Rhode Island. After checking into the Ogden Hotel, I called headquarters. Captain Lewis wasn't in, so I left a message asking him to call me. Then I called the girl in question, Darla Mason.
Johnny, hi. What are you doing back in Newport?
Oh, just winding up a little unfinished business.
Nothing to do with me, I hope.
No, not a thing. Darla.
Yes?
If you're not busy tonight, why don't you meet me for dinner?
Why, Johnny, I'd love to.
Fine. You say where?
Well, how about the yacht club at 8?
Good.
I can take the cruiser from our dock. And after dinner, we can go for a ride on the bay.
Sounds great.
See you at 8:10, Johnny. Bye.
Bye. Expense account item 4, $15 worth of American Beauty roses for Ruth Dixon's mother. I rented a car and drove out to the Dixon home. The moment I stepped into the house, I could smell the heavy, sweet odor of Oriental incense. While Mrs. Dixon put the flowers in water, I located the source of the incense. It came from an ornate burner on the mantel in the living room. Behind the burner, draped in black, was a large photograph of Ruth Dixon. And on each side of the photograph were 2 lighted candles.
Oh, Mr. Dollar, these are the most beautiful roses I've ever seen.
Well, I'm glad you like them, Mrs. Dixon.
Oh, yes. Ruth will, too.
Beg your pardon?
I said Ruth will like them, too. I'll take them to her in the morning. That is, if you don't mind.
Oh, no, not at all.
Mr. Dollar, I don't know how you feel about such things, but I believe those who have passed on never really leave us. What do you think?
Well, I haven't given much thought to the subject.
But you should. Ruth will appreciate these roses as much or more than she ever would have. Do you believe that?
Well, I didn't know Ruth when she was alive. When she was here, Mrs. Dixon.
Oh, that's right. You didn't. Well, she's still here. And if there's any doubt in your mind, why, you just come with me and visit Madame de Salle.
Madame de Salle?
Yes. She's been such a help and comfort to me these past few days. Well, without her and her teaching, I'd have been completely lost.
This Madame de Salle, what is she?
She's just an ordinary person, but she has wonderful occult powers. She can see beyond the veil, Mr. Dollar, and she's promised to let me speak to Ruth as soon as the conditions are right.
Do you know when that will be?
Lucille?
In here, Henry. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Dollar. I have to put out these candles. Henry doesn't believe like we do.
My, you've been at it again, haven't you, woman?
Now, Henry.
Open the windows. Get the smoke and the smell out of... Oh, Mr. Dollar.
Afternoon, Mr. Dixon.
What are you doing back in Newport?
He's trying to find the man that caused our girl to pass on.
Oh, she didn't pass on, Lucille. She died.
Henry, really?
Well, anyway, I wish you luck, Mr. Dollar.
I have a hunch I'm going to need it, Mr. Dixon.
Mr. Dollar, wouldn't you like to stay to dinner? We aren't having anything fancy, just leftovers and boiled cabbage head. Oh, my.
Now what?
Why, I just remembered why I burned that incense. And it wasn't what you thought, Henry Dixon. It was on account of the cabbage. It covers the smell.
That's not the truth, and you know it.
Oh, now, Henry.
Look at that mantle, Mr. Dollar. She's made a regular shrine out of it. Looks like a heathen altar.
Henry.
Well, it's the truth. And I wouldn't blame Mr. Dollar if he was afraid to stay to dinner with a woman like you around.
You aren't afraid to stay, are you, Mr. Dollar?
No, of course not, but I do have another engagement.
Oh, well, anytime you can come, you just let us know.
Yes, thanks, I'll remember.
Well, now, if you men will excuse me.
You will. And you open the windows in the back.
Yes, Henry. Oh, Mr. Dollar.
Yes?
When Madame de Salle arranges...
That fraud.
When Madame de Salle arranges for me to talk to Ruth, I'll let you know what she says. Good evening.
Poor dear. She hasn't been the same since Ruth's body was found on the beach.
Mr. Dixon, according to the medical examiner, Ruth's body was in the ocean for approximately 6 weeks.
That's right.
Do you remember if Ruth was going with anyone in particular just before the time she disappeared?
The police asked me the same question. I couldn't answer it.
You mean you don't remember?
I mean that Ruth wasn't a girl to be tied down to one man, and any more than she's content to live like she had to after my health failed.
Did she date very often?
Well, you know, she worked as a hostess at the yacht club.
Yes, sir.
She met a lot of rich young men there. And if you ask me, she dated too much. Of course, her mother took Ruth's side, said she had to if she was ever going to get herself a husband.
But she went with no one in particular.
No. She never settled down enough.
What about her friends, Mr. Dixon? Was there someone she might have confided in?
She didn't have any girlfriends. Liked men a lot better. But,
Oh, there was somebody.
Well, I expect you could say he was her friend.
too old to have been a boyfriend. Besides, he doesn't have enough money.
Who is he?
His name's Sam Hood. He runs a small craft repair shop down by Viking Beach.
Viking Beach is on the Atlantic side of Newport, approximately a mile from Land's End, where the Dixon girl's body had been washed ashore. Once there, I didn't have any trouble locating Sam Hood's repair shop. It was on the end of a large wharf. For a moment, I thought the wharf was deserted. Then I heard it. Below the wharf, sitting low on the water, was an old converted PT boat, and standing on deck, tinkering with the controls, was a heavy-set man wearing thick glasses and greasy dungarees. I was about to call him when he looked up.
Afternoon.
Hi.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I hope so. I'm looking for Sam Hood.
He ain't here. Gone on his vacation.
Oh, fine.
Can I do anything for you? I'm his brother, Leroy.
Well, yeah, Leroy, maybe you can.
You want me to come up or you going to come down?
I'll come down, but how do I do it?
Stairs over to your left there.
Oh, sure.
You're a stranger around here, ain't you?
Yep, that's right.
Well, I'm always glad to meet up with a stranger. This is such a little bitty place. Most everybody along the waterfront's heard everybody else's stories so many times till they're sick of it. What'd you say your name was?
It's Dollar. Johnny Dollar.
Well, welcome aboard the Connemore, Mr. Dollar.
Connemore? That's an odd name for a boat.
Sure is, ain't it? But I found it in a book. Sure fits her, and me too. What's your line, Mr. Dollar?
I'm an insurance investigator.
Well, now, that must be mighty interesting work.
Yeah, sometimes.
You chew tobacco?
No, thanks.
Oh. Well, I got a brand new plug of brown mule here. Ain't had it out of the wrapper. So if you want some...
No, thanks, Roy.
You sure missing something? Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Man, my teeth. You want to take a look around? Go ahead. Of course, the Connemore ain't no fancy yacht.
Excuse me, what did you say?
I said the Connemore ain't no fancy yacht, but she's all mine and Sam's, and I'm proud of her.
Oh. So where did you say your brother was, Leroy?
Sam? Oh, he's visiting our folks down in Augusta. I would have gone too, but somebody had to stay in mind the store.
Yeah. You know when he'll be back?
Not for sure. But anything Sam knows about, so do I. We got real runny mouths in our family.
Tell me, Leroy, did you know a girl named Ruth Dixon?
No one just to tip my hat to. But Sam did. Yes, sir. That gal and Sam, they used to sit up there on the wharf looking out toward Gooseberry Island, and they talk.
You know what about?
Nope. Get off that railing, you whitewash brother!
Leroy, you told me a moment ago Sam couldn't keep a secret.
Well, he said she was full of dreams. Man, you asked me, she wasn't nothing but another two-timing, just like all of them.
Oh, that's not a very good opinion of her, Leroy.
I can't help it. Sam was crazy for her, but she didn't even let on like she knew it.
How did your brother take the news of her death?
Oh, just awful.
That why he left town?
Yep.
Does Sam own a .38 revolver, Leroy?
Oh, sure. Most everybody who has a boat owns something like that. But, hey, wait a minute. You getting ideas?
No, just asking questions.
Oh. Well, Sam couldn't have killed her. I know it.
What makes you so sure?
Well, because he's my brother. And how he was so broke up when he heard about Ruth. Why would you suppose anybody'd want to put a bullet in a pretty gal like that?
I don't know, Leroy. I don't know. I asked him a few more questions, watched him chase the seagulls off the railing once more, then left. At 7:45, I was sitting in the yacht club bar waiting for Darla Mason. At 8:30, I was still waiting. And at 9:30, I gave up and went back to my hotel. I hadn't been in my room 10 minutes before someone started pounding on the door.
Dollar, you in there?
Yeah, who is it?
Captain Lewis, open up.
Well, good evening, Captain.
Nothing good about it.
Huh?
Fine thing you pulled. You come over here to help, then you go gallivanting off where nobody can find you.
I called your office as soon as I hit town.
Because the people you're working for in Hartford told you to. Now, look, that insurance agent said you were skeptical about there being a connection between the Mason and the Dixon.
I still am.
Now, you won't be when I tell you what happened early this evening.
Okay, so what happened?
Darla Mason was shot, and the bullet came from the same gun that killed Ruth Dixon.
Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
It is a very well-known fact that symbols are important to men everywhere. Whether they be symbols of country, religion, or honor, they're a cherished part of the culture and tradition of all peoples. As in almost all countries of the world, the people of Spain are very religious. And in the Spanish town of Vendrell, the people were having difficulty with a symbol. A 300-pound angel sitting on top of a 150-foot church steeple. The angel had been there since 1784 and needed repairs to keep it from falling down on the heads of the parishioners. But 150 feet is a long way up, and 300 pounds are a lot of weight to bring down. Now, there was a great deal of head-scratching over the problem until someone casually mentioned the problem to someone else who happened to be stationed at the United States Air Force Base in Zaragoza, Spain. It wasn't long before visions of a helicopter came to mind. Because Americans like to help other people everywhere, the Air Force whirlybird lifted the angel from the church steeple, brought it down for repairs, and later returned it to its perch. So grateful were the people of Vendrell for this act of friendly cooperation that they held a mass celebration of American Day to show their appreciation. Television and newsreels carried the story of kindness. So did the newspapers and magazines throughout Spain. This gesture on the part of the United States Air Force created a new symbol, a symbol of friendship and understanding. It became a symbol of freedom, the right of all men everywhere.
Now, Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Dixon murder matter.
Expense account item 6.20 for 2 cups of coffee at the Eat Right Cafe near my hotel, where Captain Lewis proceeded to give me the details surrounding the shooting of Darla Mason. She had been on her way down to the Mason boathouse, where she'd planned to take the cruiser across the bay to the yacht club. As she neared the boathouse, someone had fired at her, and the bullets that wounded her came from the same gun that killed Ruth Dixon.
So there was a connection between the Mason and Dixon girls. And if you want more proof, I have it.
Like what?
Well, they both spent a good deal of their time at the yacht club.
Yeah, but for slightly different reasons. Ruth worked there before she was killed.
But she must have known Darla Mason.
No, that's no good, Captain. You go to the district attorney with that kind of evidence, and he'll throw you out of his office. He'll want proof they knew each other, and how well.
Yeah, I suppose.
What about Darla? When can we see her?
When the doctors tell us we can. She still hasn't regained consciousness.
Hey, Captain, do you know where the Masons have the work done on their cruiser?
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's Sam Hood's place.
Have you questioned him?
Never had a chance to. According to his brother, he's away on some sort of vacation down Georgia. Left the day the Dixon girl's body was identified.
Are you sure he's still in Georgia?
Well, I can ask the Augusta police to check up on him.
If he is, have them tell him about Darla being shot up and find out if he knew her.
Okay. Well, you ready?
Yeah. No one was seen prowling around the Mason place tonight, huh?
Nobody else was down at the boathouse. Thanks, Johnny.
Sure, Captain.
And stop being so formal. My name's Pete.
Okay, Pete.
Well, I guess we've done all we can for a while.
I'm not so sure.
No, what do you mean?
I'm not sure about that either. But I have an idea. Or maybe I ought to call it a hunch.
About what?
Well, I'd like to sleep on it first, if it's all the same to you.
Have I anything to say in the matter?
Nope, not a bit. It was late and I was tired, so I did the obvious thing and went to bed. Early the next morning, I called the hospital. Darla Mason had regained consciousness and would recover. But she couldn't be questioned for another 2 or 3 days. So I finished dressing and went down for breakfast. I was crossing the lobby when someone called me.
Mr. Dollar. Mr. Dollar.
Oh, Mrs. Dixon.
I've been waiting to see you.
Well, you should have called. I'd have come right down.
Oh, no, I was afraid I'd wake you up, and I didn't want to do that.
Oh, that's very thoughtful of you.
Mr. Dollar, is there some place we can go and talk?
Well, there's my room.
Oh, no, I mean, well, it wouldn't look right, you know.
Oh, yeah, well, then, how about over here? Looks like a nice, quiet corner.
Yes, this will do nicely. Mr. Dollar, remember I told you about Madame de Salle?
Yes, I remember. Would you like to sit down?
Oh, no, I'm too excited to sit.
Excited? About what?
Well, I've been trying to tell you about Madame de Salle and what happened last night.
What did happen?
The conditions were right.
I beg your pardon?
The conditions. They were right. Remember, I told you Madame was going to let me speak to Ruth when the conditions were right. Well, they were last night.
Oh.
Well, aren't you interested in what Ruth had to say?
Oh, yes. Yes, I am, Mrs. Dixon.
She told me who killed her, Mr. Dollar.
What?
Yes, sir. Just as plain, I heard it from Ruth, and there's no doubt about it. It was her voice, all right.
Mrs. Dixon, exactly what did Ruth say about the person who murdered her?
Oh, Ruth described her to a T.
Her?
She said it was a woman. Young, dark hair, brown eyes, and a big red scar on the back of her left hand.
I see.
You seem disappointed, Mr. Dollar.
I guess I was doing a little wishful thinking, Mrs. Dixon.
Well, wishful thinking or not, Ruth told me who it was that killed her.
Oh, her name, too?
Well, she didn't know her name. But that big red scar. Now, you find a woman who has a thing like that on the back of her left hand, and you'll have the guilty party.
Yes, well, I'll look for someone like that today, Mrs. Dixon. Now, come on, I'll buy you some breakfast. An hour later, back in my room, I put in a call to Captain Lewis.
Morning, Johnny.
Morning, Pete. Anything new?
Well, we heard from the Augusta police.
Yeah?
Sam Hood's in Augusta, all right. Been there for over a week.
Uh-huh. Did they ask him if he knew the Mason girl?
I said he did. Said the Masons used to let him and his brother service a cruiser.
Uh-huh.
Johnny, when are you going to stop playing games and tell me your ideas?
Hunch, you mean, Pete. And I'll tell you just as soon as I get back from the library.
The library?
Oh, and while you're waiting, call back the Augusta police. Have them get hold of Sam Hood again.
What for?
Ask him who named his boat.
What?
Yeah, ask him if it was his idea to name it the Connemore or his brother's.
Johnny, are you feeling all right?
Never felt better. And I'll see you in about an hour. I found what I was looking for in the library. Then went back to Captain Lewis's office and told him what I was now beginning to believe. While I was there, Sam Hood called from Augusta with the answer to the question the police had asked him. Then I went alone down to the wharf on Viking Beach. Leroy Hood was sprawled lazily over the deck of the Connemore, trying to sleep and at the same time keep an eye on a fishing line he tossed over the side. I started down the steps toward the boat.
Well, doggone. Hi there, Mr. Dollar.
Morning, Leroy.
Man, I sure didn't think you'd be back down here so soon. You know, Sam ain't back yet.
Yeah, I know. You having any luck?
Oh, no. Just making believe. For real fishing, you got to go out beyond Gooseberry Island.
Oh, how about taking me someday?
Why, sure. Man, you just say the word and we'll go right now.
Well, no. I'm afraid I couldn't do that this morning, Leroy.
Well, you just let me know anytime.
Yeah. How fast this boat cruise?
25 knots. Now, ain't that something? Fastest boat between here and the Navy station.
How long would it take you to get over to the Mason home and back again?
Why, it wouldn't take no time at all. How come you asked that?
Did you know Darla Mason was shot last night?
Heard something about it, yeah.
Do you know Darla Mason, Leroy?
How could I know somebody like that?
I don't know. But if you didn't know her, why did you try to kill her last night?
You joking?
No, not a bit.
Oh, come on now, man. What you mean I tried to kill her last night?
Just what I said.
That ain't funny. That ain't one bit funny.
But it's the truth, isn't it?
The truth? Now, who told you that?
Darla.
What? What, she couldn't have?
No, why not?
Because the papers say she's still unconscious. Besides, she couldn't see nobody around that boathouse last night. It was too dark.
Dark as it was the night you killed Ruth Dixon.
You know, you're beginning to get me riled, Dollar.
That's so.
It sure is so. Coming around here with all kinds of lies saying I killed Ruth Dixon.
I didn't say it. Your brother did.
Sam? Oh, man, now you really lying. Sam's in Augusta. You ain't seen
We
him.
talked to him on the phone this morning. He told us about you and Ruth Dixon and the Mason girl and every other woman who comes around here.
Well, just because I try to make a little time with him, that don't mean I killed nobody.
Sam told us different, Leroy. He told us that you can't stand to have a woman laugh at you. Every time a girl has, you've tried your best to make her sorry for it.
You really did talk to Sam?
What do you think?
But why would he tell on me? Why? He never has before.
He didn't want to, Leroy. That's why he left here when he did. He needed time to think. Decide what to do about his brother. About you.
What you gonna do about it?
What I have to do. Take you in.
No. Nobody's taking me anywhere I don't want to go. And anybody cries, they're gonna be sorry.
Leroy, come out of there.
I'm coming. You look out, dog. You look out. You don't try stopping me.
Leroy, come back.
No! Johnny? You all right?
Oh, yeah. I'm just fine.
Come on up. All over.
Yeah, Captain. I know.
Tell me something.
If I can.
What put you onto him in the first place?
Two things. You see, he liked the girls, wanted to be a lady killer, but they'd only laugh at him, and he couldn't stand that.
I see.
But the big thing is, what he named this boat, Connemore.
I don't get it.
Well, a man like Leroy, not much education, he'd have to have a real reason for wanting to name it that.
But why? What's so special about that?
You ever hear of Bluebeard?
A lady killer? Sure, who hasn't?
Well, Connemore was his real name. I saw Mrs. Dixon late that same afternoon. I'm afraid she was a bit disillusioned, having been so sure that the person who had killed her daughter was a woman. But there was one funny thing. On the back of Leroy's left hand was a long red scar. Expense account total, including car rental, hotel bill, and transportation back to Hartford, $968.20. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here's our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, a case that couldn't be solved because there was no solution. And yet, well, join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood. Written by Charles B. Smith, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Gene Tatum, Jeanette Nolan, Frank Nelson, Russell Thorson, Sam Edwards, and Austin Green. Musical supervision is by Amerigo Marino. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Cubberly speaking. From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Johnny, this is Byron Kay at Intercoastal Maritime and Life in Boston.
Hello, boy.
Remember Hurricane Audrey?
Back in the latter part of June, sure. Must have hit your company pretty hard.
Yes. But if anybody ever needed help, it was those people down in Louisiana and neighboring states.
Yeah.
So we've paid up the claims just as fast as they've come in. Except for one.
Oh, what's that?
One we received only a couple of days ago.
Okay, bye. Give me the dope and I'll head for Louisiana on the first plane.
Wrong direction, Johnny.
Huh? Texas?
No.
Oklahoma? Arkansas?
Buffalo, New York.
What?
And I think you'd better run over here and let me give you some facts.
Yeah, I think I'd better.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Intercoastal Maritime and Life Insurance Company, Boston, Massachusetts. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Charmona matter. Expense account item 1, 1845. Plane fare and incidentals, Hartford to Boston, and a cab to Byron Kay's office in the Little Building.
Glad to see you, Johnny.
Hi.
I'm glad you can take this on for me. Sit down.
Okay, thanks.
Ever hear of Charles Francis Keeley?
Keeley?
A very much reformed man, Johnny, who was apparently making a valiant try to live down some of the things he did earlier in his life.
Like what?
Well, he was I guess you'd call him a promoter, stock manipulator, that sort of thing. The point is, he made himself a lot of money a few years back until the authorities, the Securities Exchange Commission and so forth, put a stop to his fancy dealing.
Sounds like a real nice guy.
In any event, he had enough money by the time he quit to live pretty well. Nice home, beautiful wife, 62-foot cruiser, and that, by the way, is our biggest problem.
Oh, I wish my biggest problem was a 62-foot cruiser.
It is, Johnny. Now.
Then tell me all.
Yes. Early in June, he took his boat across Lake Erie to Detroit to have some work done on it at the Detroit Yacht Basin. Then, a couple of days before the end of the month, he started back for Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, that hurricane was moving north about then, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And his failure to appear in Buffalo within a reasonable time didn't worry his wife a bit. Often before making that same trip, he'd stopped off in Cleveland to visit some of his old cronies.
Uh-huh.
But by July 20th, she began to get worried. She called the friends in Cleveland. They hadn't seen him. Then she called the Coast Guard. No word. A few days later, a couple of the life preservers from his boat washed up on the south shore of Erie near the little town of Lindsay. That enough for you, Johnny?
How much insurance did he carry?
On himself, $35,000. On the boat, $106,000.
I see. Okay, bye. I'm on my way. Expense account item 2, transportation to Buffalo, where I signed in at the Statler Hotel. Item 3, $5.20 for dinner. Then taxi, that's item 4, to the Keeley home north of Delaware Park on Colvin Avenue. I don't know just what I'd expected Keeley's wife to look like. Suffice it to say, I was pleasantly surprised. She was young, tall, blonde, and beautiful, with eager, sparkling eyes and none of the signs of grief I'd anticipated.
I don't know why you registered at a hotel, Johnny. May I call you, Johnny?
Why, sure.
Please call me Mona. May I pour you another drink?
No, thanks.
As I started to say, you could have stayed here. There's plenty of room, as you can see.
Yes. This is a very beautiful house, Mona.
Yes, but so empty now. I get terribly lonely, Johnny.
Well, of course I don't blame you. But now suppose we talk, if you don't mind, about the
Johnny,
thing
if you have to be around for a few days, why don't you move out of that hotel and... Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. I guess I'm sorry.
It's all right.
But I am lonely.
Sure. Now, Mona, you realize this investigation is, it's just routine.
Of course, Johnny.
Now, as I understand, every effort has been made to find your husband.
Of course. And to find the Charmona.
Charmona?
The cruiser.
Oh, yes.
It was a beautiful thing, Johnny. But now it's gone. And Paul.
Paul?
Yes, Paul Matthews was the pilot. Only he was more than that. He was very nice.
Yeah. Well, now, as I...
Oh, excuse me. Every time that phone rings, I hope it's some word, some news that perhaps... Well, you know.
I'm not sure that I do.
What?
But by all means, answer it.
Yes, excuse me.
There was something distinctly wrong with this whole setup, that was for
The
sure.
Coast Guard, yes. Yes, this is she. This is Mona Keeley.
Perhaps Charles Keeley wasn't the only one in this family to arouse suspicion.
What? Say that again.
Especially now, with nearly $150,000 involved.
Yes, well, how about Paul? I said, how about Paul?
Then, when she finally finished with the phone call, came a couple of other surprises.
Thank you. Thank you. Johnny, he's all right.
Huh?
That was the Coast Guard. They found him. He's all right. Isn't it wonderful?
That was the real surprise. Not what she said. Isn't it wonderful? Or even the way she said it. But something deep back in her eyes that gave her away, that told me beyond the shadow of a doubt that she was lying through her teeth.
Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
It is a rare event when a young man decides to leave civilization behind and hide himself away in the steaming jungle, just so he can help his fellow humans in a remote corner of the world. The late Dr. Tom Dooley did just that when he left the United States to help the sick and starving jungle people in the little kingdom of Laos in Southeast Asia. Dr. Dooley's story is well known to nearly everyone. And all over the world, people talk of his little jungle hospital on stilts. That's where he treated the dread diseases of the jungle and trained native medical technicians so that they might help their own people. Dr. Dooley wrote and lectured to many people so that the work of his medical assistance program, Medico, might go on. It was not easy for someone so young and so talented to give up the bright lights of the city and plant himself down in an unknown jungle just for the purpose of helping unfortunate people he didn't even know. But through Medico, Dr. Tom Dooley wanted to help people. He wanted to help people to help themselves. Today, the work of Medico is going forward in a number of countries besides Laos. Young men are being sent to the United States to be schooled in medicine with the idea of returning to their own countries to help their own people. Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of medical supplies have been donated by American businessmen and pharmaceutical companies. Today, Dr. Tom Dooley's work is being continued for him. It is helping to create better understanding. It is an injection of the spirit of freedom. The right of all men everywhere.
And now, Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Charmona matter.
The news that her husband was still alive came as quite a surprise to Mona Keeley. Isn't it wonderful, she said. But I didn't believe that she meant it.
On the south shore of the lake, Johnny, near the little town of Lindsay, west of Cleveland. He was picked up on the beach by a farmer who's been caring for him ever since.
Isn't it kind of funny that you haven't heard from him before? That hurricane was a couple of months ago.
Well, he was out of his mind from the shock of what happened to him.
Did the Coast Guard say anything about the yacht?
No, Johnny, I'm afraid the Charmona is at the bottom of Lake Erie.
Well, where is he now?
In Cleveland, in a small private hospital.
Well, hadn't you better go over there and get him, bring him back here?
I told the Coast Guard we would.
Mona, you're not really glad that he's been found, that he's still alive, are you?
No, I'm not. I guess I never really loved Charles. I'm not sure he really loved me. He was a big shot, always out in the town, doing a lot of entertaining, that sort of thing. I was very pretty then. Kind of a business asset for him.
When were you and Charles married, Mona?
9 years ago.
It looks as though he's done pretty well by you.
I never had any reason to complain. About that, I mean. But the things he did to make his money, it was... Well, I guess it was legal, but it wasn't right. It was almost like stealing, the way he promoted a lot of worthless inventions, penny stocks, worthless real estate, that sort of thing. But he always did all right.
And you.
Well, who worries about conscience when things are going well?
A lot of people, Mona.
But then they made him stop the things he was doing. And Charles became very strange. He took up religion like a fanatic.
Oh?
kept giving his money away to a lot of crazy charities, money I could have used. And he got moody. He'd go off alone for weeks at a time, pay no attention to me. That's what I meant when I said I was lonely, Johnny. Not just since the accident that lost the boat and Paul.
Paul again, huh?
Don't you understand? These crazy things have been going on for over a year now. That's why I'm not jumping with joy that Charles is alive. Do you blame me?
Hadn't we better drive on over to Cleveland and get him?
All right. I'll run upstairs and change my clothes. Excuse me, I'll be ready in a minute.
Maybe I should have felt a bit more sympathetic, but I didn't. Maybe Charles Keeley did marry her simply because he could afford to keep a smart, pretty ornament around at his beck and call. Yeah, but the chances were she'd married him solely for the things his money could buy her. She took a long time changing her clothes, which didn't surprise me, so I poured myself a drink. I glanced over some of the magazines on the coffee table. I got up and stared out of the window for want of something better to do. Wandered about the room. Wandered into the oak-paneled den. I looked over the shelves of fine books, the gun collection, and the cabinet in the corner. And almost idly, I reached out toward the leather-topped desk to shove back a slip of paper that stuck out of one of the drawers. Until I saw what it was. It was an unpaid bill, several months old, from an exclusive New York shop for some very expensive gowns. And inside, the drawer was packed with unpaid bills, thousands of dollars worth of them, and statements bearing a polite, firm warning to pay up or else. No wonder Keeley's sweet, charming wife had hoped she'd never hear from him again. Gone, he was worth $35,000 to her, and the yacht $106,000. Perhaps somehow Mona Keeley had even had a hand in the wrecking of that yacht. I wondered, and I decided I didn't care much for people like this. But my meditations were suddenly interrupted by a sound from the doorway, and there she stood. A pretty little pearl-handled .25 caliber Colt in a dainty gloved hand.
I'm ready, Johnny. Are you?
So I see. Ready for what, Mona?
I guess that depends, doesn't it?
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
Our flag now numbers 50 stars, and behind each star there stands yet another flag representing one of the 50 states. Wisconsin's state flag bears the state motto, Forward, and a likeness of the state mascot, the badger. The word badger was a nickname for the miners in southwest Wisconsin. During the mining boom just prior to 1830, the people who came from Illinois mined only during the good season and left during the bad. They were called suckers, just like the fish in the streams. But the busy Wisconsinites, with either too little time to leave or to build a house, moved into abandoned mine shafts to live as badgers. The Wisconsin banner pays tribute to these industrious natives. Wisconsin's state flag, the flag of the 30th state to enter the Union, was adopted on April 26, 1913.
And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Charmona matter.
Mona Keeley stood there in the door of the den, a .25 caliber Colt in her hand. For she'd caught me going through the drawer of a desk, through papers that showed only too clearly why the loss in a storm of a $100,000 yacht might well have been carefully planned. Why she wished that her husband had gone down with her.
You shouldn't have done it, Johnny. You shouldn't have looked in that desk.
Pretty good proof, isn't it, Mona, that the wreck of the Charmona was no accident. I don't know how your husband worked it and still managed to get back to shore alive.
You don't know what you're talking about.
But he almost didn't make it, if what you've told me is the truth. Maybe that's because he didn't anticipate that the storms from Hurricane Audrey would hit Lake Erie. Maybe it's because... Well, we'll soon find out.
Will you?
Yes, when we drive over to the hospital in Cleveland and talk with him, if he's really there.
Oh, he's there, all right. And you and I are going for a drive, but not to Cleveland. All right, now.
Oh, put that thing down, Mona.
Sorry, sweetheart.
That little thing in your hand is about as accurate as a slingshot. Now, why don't you...
No, don't move.
I still don't get it, though.
Oh? What?
And I'm sure you must have been in with your husband on his deliberate sinking of the yacht.
If you think Charles sank it deliberately, Johnny, you're all wrong.
Then I certainly don't get it. Because if... Oh, now, wait a minute. You've made a couple of cracks about... What was his name? Paul?
Do you want to know the truth? Paul was the pilot for Charles, and there's been no word about him. So he must have gone down with the Charmona. That's why I'm lonely and feel the way I do.
Mona, this whole thing smells worse to me every minute.
He was young, and he was kind, and he loved me. I was glad when they found that Charmona had gone down, because the money for it would be mine. And I could get free of Charles, and Paul and I could... That's why I hoped Charles was gone.
Yeah, another $35,000 for you. You're about the crummiest lot I've ever run into. Look at this, Mona, here on the desk.
What?
This solid gold table lamp.
What about
And
it?
there beside you, that expensive mirror.
What are you talking about?
Well, look.
Why did you do that?
To get this gun away from you.
No, you... Oh, you...
A lot of good this would have done you with the safety on.
I'll kill you for this, Johnny.
No, I don't think so. And I don't think the police would like it if you try.
Oh, no. Do you think they'd blame me for trying to stop you from going through the papers in my desk? For shooting you? No. Wait. I didn't mean that. I couldn't have shot you, Johnny. Johnny?
Before we go, is there anything you'd like to tell me?
Go? Where?
Is there anything you'd like to tell me about why Charles really sank the Charmona?
No. And I don't think you'll ever know how and why the Charmona went down.
Want to bet? No, stay right there. Now I've got the gun, remember? Hello?
What? Charlie?
No. This is a friend of the family.
Oh, well, this is Harry Nelson. You gave me a real start. I thought Charlie'd come back from his watery grave.
He has, Mr. Nelson.
What?
Yes, he's in a Cleveland hospital. He's okay.
Oh. Well, then I'll talk to him when he gets back. You see, I'm the man who was going to give him $98,000 for the Charmona when he got her back from Detroit.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But since the Coast Guard tells me she was a complete loss, well, naturally, I think I'll have my deposit back.
I'm sure you'll get it, Mr. Nelson.
Yeah, okay, Mr. What did you say your name is?
Bye.
Who was that?
Someone who threw some very interesting light on this whole matter. Come on.
Where?
Our little drive, remember? To Cleveland. During the 5-hour drive to Grace Hospital on the outskirts of Cleveland, I questioned her, using every trick I could, but she refused to talk. The theory that Charles Keeley had deliberately sunk his yacht had gone up in smoke. If he had a buyer for it, he wouldn't need to try to collect the insurance on it. But I still knew the whole case was anything but lily white, and hoped that Keeley could explain a few things. When we arrived at the hospital, there was a police lieutenant in Keeley's room and a stenographer. When she saw them, Mona gasped slightly and sank into a chair, to which the lieutenant promptly handcuffed her. As Charles Keeley talked, the whole case became crystal clear, and at the same time about as sordid as anything I'd ever heard.
I should have realized what was up when Paul Matthews suddenly refused to make the trip back to Buffalo with me. He was my pilot, Lieutenant. I phoned the Coast Guard about him as soon as...
Yes, sir. It was on the Coast Guard's tip that we ordered Paul Matthews picked up.
Picked up. Then he's all right.
Shut her up, Lieutenant, or get her out of here.
As I started to say, they not only picked him up, but found where he bought the various parts for the little device he used.
Good.
Device? What are you talking about, Lieutenant?
Let me tell him.
Sure, go ahead, Mr. Keeley. Then this stenographer will have it all down on the record.
I should have known what was up when Paul suddenly decided not to go back with me just before sailing time. You see, I've suspected for some months that he and my wife behind my back...
Charles.
Shut up, you rotten little...
Go on, Mr. Keeley.
I should have known then, but I had to get the cruiser back to Buffalo to a friend who'd offered me cash for it.
Harry Nelson.
Yes. Enough to get me back on my feet again. And I didn't know why Paul had left me to make the trip alone until the explosion about 5 hours out.
What?
Yes, Mr. Dollar, up forward, where there couldn't possibly have been anything explosive.
A bomb of some sort?
What else, Dollar?
It was luck, sheer luck, that I was sailing in close, that I'd put on a life preserver because of the storm.
That was the tail end of the hurricane down south, you understand?
Yes, and it was luck that she went down right off Palace Rock.
Yeah, that's exactly where the Coast Guard divers found her early this morning. A hole as big as a house blown out of her front end.
Yes, that storm, that hurricane may have taken a lot of lives, but it saved mine.
All I can say is I'm glad there are courts to take care of situations like this. I myself would hate to have to dirty my hands any further. Yeah, it probably does take all kinds to make a world. But believe me, the world would be a lot better off without some of those kinds. The claim on the yacht, sure, it'll have to be paid. And to a man I honestly think is trying to live a decent life for a change. Expense account total, including incidentals and the trip back to Hartford, $103.80. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Our star will return in just a moment.
An old English proverb states that a friend in need is a friend indeed. We've all heard it before, but how many of us have realized the full import of its meaning? When Jose Lara Valverde, an 8-year-old Spanish boy, was in need, he found out what real friendship could be. Stricken by a rare glandular disease, little Jose began to lose his fight for survival when his vital supply of drugs ran out. In a desperate call for help, an amateur radio operator named Conte broadcast a weak signal over the European airwaves. The plea was picked up by a ham operator, Hans Ketterle, in Germany, who relayed the urgent message to a nearby United States Air Force unit. The American airmen quickly dug up the only available drugs of the kind needed. They flew the Mercy package by jet to Madrid. From there, an ambulance screamed its urgent way 190 miles to Andújar, Jose's hometown. The medicine saved his life, but only temporarily. Another source had to be found, and it was, again, in Germany. The two rare drugs were again rushed by American jet fighter pilots, by helicopter, and by Air Force staff car through high winds and thunderstorms to the bedside of the stricken boy. The medicine was given to Jose, and again he responded. This same life and death drama was repeated elsewhere in Spain when men of the United States Air Force came to the rescue of another young Spanish boy in need of another rare drug. People-to-people giving is more than a program. It is an act of friendship. It is a fight for freedom, the right of all men, everywhere.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood. This is Dan Cubberly speaking.
This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum, the refreshing, delicious treat that gives you chewing enjoyment, presents for your listening enjoyment Edmund O'Brien as
Johnny Dollar.
My name's Mark Nelson. I came to Hartford to talk to you about a federal assignment. I'm from the Treasury Department, Bureau of Narcotics. We need an insurance investigator
For what?
to go to London on a case that has us stopped here. I'm in the Commonwealth Hotel. I'd like to have you come over.
Wait a minute. What's insurance got to do with it?
A company took a policy on a few $1,000s worth of trunks en route to London. Somewhere in the load is $500,000 in narcotics. We want you to take the trip with it.
The makers of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum bring you Edmund O'Brien in another adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
To make every day more enjoyable, treat yourself often to refreshing, delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Here's a taste treat you can enjoy indoors, outdoors, at work, or at play. The cool, long-lasting mint flavor refreshes you. The smooth, steady chewing helps keep you fresh and alert. Adds enjoyment to whatever you're doing. Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Healthful, refreshing, delicious.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Treasury Department, Bureau of Narcotics, Washington, D.C. The following is an accounting of my expenditures during investigation of the London matter. Expense account item 1, $1.75, cab fare to Commonwealth Hotel.
I'll give you the background as briefly as I can, Dollar. We allowed the entry of some narcotics from India into Seattle. We've been trying to break up a big ring in the Pacific Northwest. But the stuff didn't stay there. We followed it south into Beverly Hills. Have you ever heard of Dorothy Rivers and Broderick Green?
The woman? I think so. I saw her in a couple of plays in New York, didn't I?
Yes, that's the one. She's been out west for the past 2 years making movies. Green's her husband, a director. The narcotics went to them. Well, to their house, at least.
Well, they must have servants.
Yes, they did, but that doesn't do us any good. There were 4 of them, but 3 of them have been discharged. They all had a hand in packing the trunks for this London trip. So any one of them or all of them could have packed the narcotics.
You're sure that's what happened?
We know they went into the house, but nothing has come out but the trunks. And I searched the place myself just before I flew east.
Why don't you want to stop it?
We cabled Scotland Yard, and they told us there's been a big increase in contraband over there in the past couple of years.
You think this could be part of a pattern?
Well, it's possible. You see, because they need our dollars, British Customs make it a point to extend a lot of courtesies to these visiting film celebrities. The stars always arrive with a lot of belongings and usually with a servant or 2. In the case of Green and his wife, just 1. A confidential secretary, a Miss Miller, Lorraine Miller. She's traveling with the trunks. Now, I want you to get acquainted with her.
Well, that shouldn't be too difficult. Who's the policy with?
Standard Liability Company. $20,000 for a 2-week period. That's a short-term gamble. It'd pay the company to keep an eye on it. Couldn't you use that?
Well, it would depend on how young and susceptible this Miller girl is.
She's young, Dollar. I got close enough to appreciate that.
Expense account item 2, $675, passage to England on the SS Morristown. Before boarding, I received a few more bits of instruction by phone from T-Man Nelson.
We've been in touch with Scotland Yard again, Dollar. They're assigning one of their best men to the case. An Inspector Finch. He'll arrange to meet you when your ship docks. We sent him a description.
Yeah, Finch. Okay. What else?
Well, we still aren't sure about the Miller girl, but her brother is going on the same ship.
That could happen.
He's got a passport under another name, Miles Fanning. Now, if you need help on the trip, the ship's detective is Clarence Dorn.
Dorn. Okay, I'll find him.
Okay, Inspector Finch is in London, and I'm flying over in a few days. I'll find you.
Hey, Nelson, are you sure you trust me?
I'll let you know when we finish this thing. Bon voyage.
Expense account item 3, $8, bar bill. I met Lorraine Miller in a small lounge on B-deck as we left New York Harbor. She struck me as being young, all right, but susceptible only when she wanted to be. She had a face that didn't need much makeup and auburn hair that didn't need much messing with. Her hazel eyes were wide-spaced and seemingly candid, but they didn't tell me whether or not she knew who I really was.
It must be an exciting job. Travel a lot? Meet interesting people?
Yes, I once met a pig named Rollo who had eaten a diamond bracelet.
Really, Mr. Dollar?
Hey, how long are you going to be in England?
About a year, I guess. The Greens are going to make a picture with somebody's frozen pounds. It's a smart thing to do, you know. Everybody who is anybody has some frozen pounds.
You don't like these people.
If it shows, it's because of this martini before lunch. I'm glad you're here.
So am I.
You traveling alone?
Yeah, but that's my line, isn't it?
What do you have, a cabin or a suite?
A cabin.
Then it's my line. I have a suite. I'll go take a nap in the tub, and you meet me there at 5. There's a little bar, and I'll order some things, and we'll be able to get some music on the radio and have dinner there.
Oh, I really shouldn't.
Hidden away from the rest of the people. Sound of the ocean outside. You'll like it.
If I could only be sure that Mother won't worry about it. The cocktails were good, and so was the dinner. But the radio was full of static, and, as far as my assignment went, the conversation was unsatisfactory. I learned a lot about Lorraine Miller and a little about the Greens, but none of it tied in with the case. The whole evening made it almost impossible for me to suspect that she could be mixed up with narcotics until the fourth brandy.
Jim?
What is it?
Oh, no.
Porthole. Somebody pushed it open.
It blew open. It startled me, that's all.
Somebody pushed it. You saw him. You started to call out his name.
No, I didn't, Johnny. It startled me so. My mind was 1,000 miles away in that
Come over here and sit down.
I'm sorry, Johnny. That was ridiculous.
Why don't you want to tell me who it was? I saw him, too. Now, who are you afraid of?
Don't ask me any more, Johnny.
But I want you to tell me.
All right. You want to spoil everything with your stubborn prying? It was my ex-husband. He followed me before. Now, if you'll please leave. Johnny, I won't be able to see you again.
Selfishly, I was sorry it had to happen, but it meant progress. I knew it had been a brother outside the porthole, and she was covering up for him. The portly, balding ship's detective, Clarence Dawn, was sporting a well-worn flannel bathrobe and Congress gaiters when he let me into his cabin a half hour later.
Well, welcome aboard, Dollar. They told me about you.
Yeah, I looked for you up in the ballroom.
I never bother with the ballroom the first night out. The con merchants are just picking their marks. The slick gamblers are softening the suckers by letting them win. Nothing you can get your teeth into first night out. Tomorrow I go to work. Sit down, huh?
Yeah, thanks.
Customs told me you might contact me. Always glad to help if I can.
Thank you. There's a passenger aboard named of Miles Fanning.
Fanning? Well, I got a duplicate list case someplace. Baggett, Fallon, Fanning. Miles D. Fanning. 22 on secret.
Yeah, that's the name. You know anything about him?
Oh, let's see. I keep a notebook. Names of some of the hot ones that make the crossing. Fanning. Well, he's not here. Don't know anything about him. What's his specialty?
Well, this trip he's using Ford's papers. Fanning's not his real name.
Say, I'd better report that, hadn't I?
No, the federal men want him left alone.
Is he hot?
He could be.
Oh, yeah. Can't let me in on it, huh? I know how it is.
I wish you'd pick him out tomorrow. Keep your eye on him for me.
Sure, absolutely. Glad to help. Anything special you want on?
I'd like to know if he meets the girl on number 12A deck, Lorraine Miller. Auburn hair, hazel eyes, about 5'4".
Got it?
I'd like to know if he sends any cables ahead to London. Like to see copies if I could.
I'll get word to the radio operators right away.
Thanks for the cooperation, Dawn. I'll check back with you tomorrow night. Right. I checked back with him on the following 5 nights, and he had nothing to report. The days and evenings I spent as casually as I could, and never once saw the Miller girl. According to Dawn, she had her meals in a cabin and never left it. Her brother was pointed out to me, and I felt his eyes on me now and then, so I knew he recognized me. Then, the night before we were due to dock in Southampton, I was surprised in my cabin by an unmistakably feminine knock on the door.
I think I owe you an apology.
Well, I didn't expect this. Come on in. Sit down.
I'm sorry, Johnny. I wish I hadn't blown up.
Why did you?
I don't know. I guess because, well, it was hardly the time for an ex-husband to come prowling around.
It was too bad.
The trip that started out to be a lark, this one has turned into a big flop. Have you enjoyed it?
Well, I've met a lot of those interesting people. Bridge players, deck tennis players, kind of Astor players, fat old gossips with jewels, drunks, nothing like that. Yes?
This is Dawn, Dollar.
Yes, Mrs. Johnson.
Oh, you can't talk.
Yes, that's right.
I'll make it short. They met after dinner. Fanning went to the Miller cabin.
Oh? I'm awfully sorry, Mrs. Johnson. I couldn't make it tonight. A previous engagement, but thanks for calling.
I'll stay on him and see you later.
I hope you find somebody. Night. That was one of them. Could I fill in a contract? Mr. Johnson is seasick.
We can get together in London, can't we?
That sounds fine. I think we can work it out.
I hope so, Johnny. I really do. Now I have to go. I want to get everything packed tonight.
I poured myself a nightcap after she'd left. A big one, because I was confused. I didn't know why she'd come, or how much she knew about the narcotics, or how much she thought I knew. It was the first drink I'd had in my cabin out of my own bottle, and it was the last. I felt it the minute it was down. There was nothing I could do about it. But it was painless. The ship seemed to roll more heavily, and I pitched forward toward my bunk. After that, the ship could have sunk, and I wouldn't have known about it.
To make every day more enjoyable, treat yourself often to refreshing, delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. The lively, full-bodied real mint flavor cools your mouth, moistens your throat, freshens your taste. And the chewing itself gives you a little lift, helps you keep going at your best. So for real chewing enjoyment that's refreshing and long-lasting, always keep Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum handy. Healthful, delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Gum will make every day more enjoyable. And now, with our star, Edmund O'Brien, we return you to the second act of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar.
I don't know. Great shock to the system.
Yes, it must be.
Sinister amount of opiate. Amazing resistance. Well, we'll try. There. I don't dare give him any more stimulants, Inspector, but this should bring him round.
Rather an unpleasant arrival, poor chap.
Yes. That did the trick. Now I'll leave him to you, Inspector. Keep him awake, but don't expect too much at first.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Doctor. Mr. Dollar? Mr. Dollar? Can you hear me, sir?
Huh? What?
You must try to stay awake. Can you open your eyes?
Who are you?
Chief Inspector Finch of Scotland Yard.
Oh, the girl.
I'm afraid Miss Miller has disembarked.
Fanning?
He's being followed by one of my men. Mr. Dollar, your system received a large amount of opiate, enough to render you unconscious for almost 12 hours. Do you know who administered it?
We're in Southampton.
Yes.
It was a girl. She come to my cabin and there was a phone call.
A phone call, sir?
Yeah, the ship's detective has been giving me a hand, keeping his eye on Fanning. I wasn't watching her. She must have drugged the whiskey while I was talking. Oh, I was stupid.
I shouldn't worry if I were you. The situation is nicely under control.
The trunks?
En route to the Green residence. However, the men in the lorry with it are from Scotland Yard. They'll unpack them, and I assure you nothing will pass unnoticed.
Nice going, Inspector.
Thank you, sir. We like to try. Now, if you could raise yourself and drink some of this coffee.
All right.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be this hard. A nasty experience. Okay, let's have the coffee.
Yeah. Splendid. When you feel strong enough, we'll have an ambulance move you to my flat. You may rest there, and we shall await developments.
It took a lot of coffee and a lot of time. But by early afternoon, we were in the inspector's flat, waiting for word. It came at 4:30.
Yes? Mm-hmm. Huh? Are you quite positive? I see. Very well, Sergeant. Return to the yard. I'll phone you there if I need you. Mr. Dollar, is it possible that an error was committed on the other side, that the narcotics never left there?
They didn't find them?
No. After meticulous search.
Oh, Treasury's not going to make a mistake like that with $500,000 worth. The narcotics left the States, all right.
Perhaps they're still on the ship. May have got the wind up since you were aboard and discarded the original plan.
I don't know. I suppose it's a thought.
Right. I'll arrange for a search party at once.
Inspector, who in London would be able to buy this amount of narcotics?
That question had occurred to me. The answer shouldn't be too difficult to find. Perhaps you'd care to accompany me to my office while we try. We rather pride ourselves upon our efficiency.
10 minutes after we got there, the ponderous machinery that is Scotland Yard started grinding out files on criminals. They were indexed according to every possible feature or characteristic. In the space of 2 hours, we had the name of every known narcotic suspect in London, and flying squad men had been sent out to cover them. But the first report that came in was negative. The ship had been searched without success. Then the phone rang again.
Inspector Finch. Huh? Oh, yes, he's here. Mr. Dollar?
Thank you. Oh.
This is Nelson, Dollar. I just got in.
Oh, good. Have you heard about the mess?
Part of it. I went down to the ship. Dorn told me what happened to you. Are you all right?
Yeah, sure, I'm all right, but the stuff got through. It's loose someplace here in London.
The trunks?
Unloaded and searched by Scotland Yard men, nothing.
What about the girl?
She's being watched.
Anything on Miles Fanning?
Well, the Yard's tailing him, too. Say, Nelson, are you sure the narcotics were put aboard the ship?
Positive. But I'll get right on the transatlantic phone and get somebody to recheck the trail. I'm staying at the Empire. Call me if something breaks.
Yeah, right. Treasury man, he's going to check the States to see if there was a slip.
Good. $500,000? Rather a nuisance having that. This may be something. Yes? Mm-hmm. I see. Yes, at once. See that a driver and a radio cars at the main entrance will want to stay in touch. Thank you.
What was it? Any progress?
Yes. Most unpleasant progress. The constable I assigned to follow the chap who calls himself Fanning has been shot to death.
Oh?
Progress lies in the fact that your ship detective fellow, Clarence Dawn, was killed at approximately the same time.
Dawn?
Yes. Do you have a pistol, Mr. Dollar?
It's on the ship.
We won't bother going there. I'll have two issued to us before we leave.
I spoke to Constable Wilde before he died, sir. He said he heard shots and ran into the house. By the time he reached the corridor, this Fanning bloke was leaving his room. He tried to stop him.
I see. And Fanning?
He bolted out the back way, sir.
Did he say if he was carrying anything?
No, sir. He... hold on a minute. That's what he was trying to say. Port, he said before he died. He was trying to say portmanteau.
It's still expensive, Progress.
That's the room, sir.
Yes. Hey, Constable, hop down to the car like a good chap and ask the sergeant to radio in an addition to the Fanning description. The fact that he's carrying a traveling bag.
Yes, sir.
Is this Clarence Dawn?
Yeah. And I guess the answer to a few things.
Then Dawn carried the contraband here from the ship, quarreled with Fanning over division of the spoils, and was then shot by Fanning, wouldn't you say?
Yes, that's exactly what I'd say.
Then Fanning's our man. We'll have to find him.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to go to the Green place, talk to the Miller girl, Inspector.
Of course.
Clarence Dawn. You know, I thought... How could I have been so stupid? The Green residence was dark when we arrived, and there was no response to either the doorbell or our shouts. We pulled up a few yards, and while we waited, we listened to the nervous talk between the radio cars that were combing the city for the man we called Fanning.
South of Village Avenue. A man answering the Fanning description has been reported in the square. Request flying squad men to search the building.
That's 3.5 hours we've been here. Must be 1 million men in London who answer his description.
And so we shall have to question 1 million men.
47Y, 47Y to 14B. Are you still in Charing Cross Road? Over. 14B, 14B.
4B here. Still in Charing Cross Road, over.
47Y to 14B. Investigate 1936 Bentley crossing into your section. 1936 Bentley. Close coupled sedan. Black. Registration GY4110. GY4110. Acknowledge, over.
Cut it, Sergeant, cut it.
4B acknowledging.
Sergeant.
Registration GY4110.
Switch off the receiver.
Oh, yes, sir.
There's a car. Looks like it's stopping. It's a taxi. There she is. Come on, Inspector. But let me do the talking, will you? Right you are. Lorraine?
Who is it? Johnny. Johnny, where have you been?
Where is he, Lorraine?
What happened to you? I looked for you when we were docking. I came to your cabin and knocked.
Stop it. Where is he, your brother?
Johnny.
Come on, where is he?
What has he done this time?
What'd you say?
What has Jim done?
You know what he's done.
No, I don't. He wouldn't tell me.
After everything that's happened, after you've lied to protect him, you're asking me to believe that you didn't know what he was doing?
Yes, I'm asking you to believe me. You don't have to. I haven't known anything about Jim since the war. It wasn't my brother who came home. It was somebody else. Somebody to be ashamed of. A stranger I gave money to so he'd leave me alone. But he never did. It was the war. What has he done this time?
Tell me, Lorraine. He knew you were coming to London?
Yes.
You saw him while you were getting ready to leave?
He needed money. I hired him to help with the packing.
Where is he, Lorraine?
I've got a right to know what he's
If
done.
you're telling the truth, it doesn't make any difference. The man's a criminal. He has to be taken. Now, I want you to tell me where he is.
He's not my brother anymore, so it doesn't matter. He's going to Tangiers.
How, on a ship or a plane?
A ship.
Which one?
I don't know. He's leaving at 9 a.m. If he doesn't, he'll drag me into whatever it is. Accomplice, he said. But I don't care anymore. I don't care.
Well, Mr. Dollar?
What do you think of it, Inspector?
I don't think she was lying. We've had the same trouble here in England. Young boys who found themselves fighting a war as children were no more than grown-up children, and one day they were told they'd won it. I've seen them. They can't cope with our rather sorry victory, and they simply don't care. Loyalties mean nothing. They want money, and they don't care what they do to get it. Perhaps you, an American, and I, an Englishman, are partially to blame.
Yeah, I guess the war is still with us, Inspector.
After you, sir.
Thanks.
Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
I want to know which ship is sailing for Tangier tomorrow morning at 9.
Right, sir.
When you find out where she's docked, ask the yard to contact Mr. Nelson at
the Empire.
The Hotel Empire.
Yes.
In the meantime, Sergeant, you might drive towards Royal Albert Dock.
Right you are, sir.
The ship turned out to be the city of Bombay. Before we drew to a stop at Royal Albert Dock, we passed through what must have been half of the mobile police force of London. That must be Nelson's car. Yeah, there he is.
Come along, Sergeant. We want you to stand guard at the gangway.
Right, sir. Hello there, Dollar. I was beginning to wonder if you'd ever get here.
It's only been 10 minutes, Nelson. This is Inspector Finch at Scotland Yard.
Pleasure, sir.
How do you do?
Well, Mr. Dollar, Mr. Nelson, as you so quaintly put it on the other side, this is it?
You're sure he's there?
Oh, quite sure.
Yeah, we got a radio report, and we hope they've cleared the ship of everybody else. Well, we might as well go.
Right you are.
I'm ready.
Mr. Dollar?
It's up to you.
Thanks. You there. Is Mr. Fanning aboard?
Aye, he's aboard.
Stay here, Sergeant.
Right, sir.
You received word from Scotland Yard?
I did.
Then you'll allow us to come aboard after him?
You can come aboard. He knows you've come. He's got a gun.
Where is he?
He went forward on deck. Everything below is closed off.
Very good. We can find him up this way?
That's the way.
There's a winch up forward. Good protection. Down behind the hatch.
Hey, Miller, Fanning, whatever you call yourself. Come on out. We've got the Treasury Department and Scotland Yard here, so come on out.
He won't do it. He won't, Dollar. It's too late for him.
I'd better cross over to the other side while you cover me. May draw him out. Are we ready?
Wait till I move down here. This is good.
Good luck, Inspector. Use your head, Miller. Come on out.
There he goes. Throw the ball. Don't let him get over.
Inspector Finch?
Yep.
Nelson?
Yes. Yes, you all right, Dollar?
Yeah, what about him?
He's dead, Dollar. We can search his cabin now.
The traveling bag with its $500,000 contents was just inside Fanning's door. Expense account item 4, same as item 2. Transportation back to the States and Hartford. I saw Lorraine Miller once before I left. And I made her a promise I hope Inspector Finch will be able to keep. That only the name Fanning would make the official records in the front page, because the name Miller had already gotten more than it deserved. Expense account total, $1,580.20. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Remember, friends, to make every day more enjoyable, treat yourself often to refreshing, delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. There's lots of cooling, real mint flavor in every stick. And chewing Wrigley's Spearmint helps keep you feeling fresh and alert. You feel better, work better, get more fun out of doing things. So indoors, outdoors, wherever you go, keep some healthful, refreshing Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum handy. To make every day more enjoyable, treat yourself often to delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, brought to you by Wrigley's Spearmint Gum, stars Edmund O'Brien in the title role, and is written by Gil Dowd and David Ellis, with music composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Edmund O'Brien can soon be seen starring in the Columbia Pictures production, 711 Ocean Drive. Featured in tonight's cast were Wally Mayer, Virginia Gregg, Herb Butterfield, Dana Herlihy, Tudor Owen, Ben Wright, and Alec Harford. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle. The makers of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum hope you've enjoyed tonight's story of Johnny Dollar and that you're enjoying delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum every day. We invite you to join us again next week at this same time when, from Hollywood, Edmund O'Brien returns in another adventure of...
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Bob Stevenson speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
I always say if you take a trip halfway around the world, you've got to expect you'll get your ticket punched. This is another in the adventures of America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator, Johnny Dollar. At Insurance Investigation, Johnny Dollar is only an expert. At making out his expense account, he is an absolute genius. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Constant Sun Trading Company, Cairo, Egypt.
And may I say, this is an unexpected pleasure. The one thing I didn't expect to bump into during this case was somebody to pay the bill. It started out being my answer to a fire alarm rung 12,000 miles away by an old wartime friend. It wound up being a game of who gets killed first, with a bunch of guys who suddenly declared themselves a small peacetime war. The difference of opinion arose over a little hassle I might call the expiring nickels and the Egyptian jackpot. Expense account, item 1, $2,200. Air transportation from little old Connecticut to big old French Indochina, or specifically Hartford to Halfpenny. That's where I got off the plane to take a breather. But after smelling the air and getting hit in the face with a bucket full of lukewarm raindrops, I got right on another plane bound for my destination, where I'd been summoned by an urgent cable, Calcutta. We took off on instruments in the downpour of a drenching monsoon. It was like climbing up a waterfall, blindfolded. We got chased up to 20,000 feet, clear up into the penthouse, by a batch of black-hearted thunderheads laced with lightning. And there we stayed, sucking oxygen for 9 dreary hours, and waiting for the moment we'd get off our island in the sky. Expense account, item 2, 3 rupees. Transportation from airport to the address of old friend who had summoned me. A place you'd never expect to find trouble. In church. And what a church. 2 Quonset huts on Chowrangi Road. A couple of dozen wooden benches, a retired USO Hammond organ, and most important, its pastor. A guy I'd met when I was calling the CBI Theater my home away from home, Chaplain Joe Blessing.
Johnny, it's good to see you.
Long time, Joe. Too long. Well, you haven't changed a bit since you were passing out those SL slips to unhappy GIs. So you did decide to stay out here after all.
Yeah, I decided the East Indian brand of soul needed a little more saving than the kind I used to know back in Magnolia, Tennessee. Now, come on in the office, Johnny. It was good of you to come right over. You must be wondering why you did.
Well, your cable did start to worry you too, Joe. You know, when an ex-soldier gets the trouble call from a chaplain, something's really wrong. What's up?
Sit down. Johnny, tell me, how'd you like to do some work in my department?
Wait a minute. I wouldn't know where to start.
I'm asking you to save a man's soul and to save another man's life while you're doing it.
Why me, Joe?
Why did I ask you to come all the way from Hartford, Connecticut? Well, Johnny, the ways are devious. There wasn't time for me to do anything else.
Huh?
If I'd gone through the proper channels here, if I'd become involved with all the inevitable red tape, well, there just wasn't time. Johnny, there's a man in Cairo waiting to be executed at dawn day after tomorrow for a murder he didn't commit. And here in Calcutta is a man who not only witnessed that crime, but has in his possession the evidence that can save that man from swinging.
Uh-huh. Now, who is this man on the flying rope end?
Lionel Brooke Nichols. He's the president of a vast enterprise called the Constant Sun Trading Company. Now, Johnny, I wasn't ignoring the fact that you work for a living. I'm sure that if you're successful, you can name your own price. This is not a colloquialism, Johnny, but Mr. Brooke Nichols has nothing but money.
I didn't realize that such big men got into such big trouble.
Oh, he didn't get into it all by himself.
Huh?
Oh, no. No, this particular big man had the bad luck to have a fun-loving cousin who'd like to see him out of the way, and the faster the better.
Name of?
Miles Atkinson. He must be some sort of big wheel in the Egyptian government. That's all I know about him. Except that to gain control of the Constant Sun Company, he would move heaven and earth to see Brooke Nichols dead.
Well, I don't care what he does with the earth, but I guess I can't stand by and let him mess around with your heaven. Now, let's get down to cases. What about this dude here in Calcutta, the witness with the evidence?
Well, his name's William Briggs. He's a very sick man, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that he might die soon, and it looks like he might. He's had a sudden rush of conscience for the mouth. He wants to talk. Evidently, he's decided that since it's too late to save his body, he'd better do a quick job on his soul.
And I nurse him to Cairo, is that it?
No. I'm sending a young assistant of mine who'll take that job off your hands. I think you'll like him, Johnny. Now, I want you to get Briggs to the right officials. Arrangements have been made for an ambulance to meet you in Cairo. And, well, we've chartered a cargo plane to take you there. Now, the pilot says he can get you there by tomorrow night.
Well, I spent so much time in the air getting here that it shouldn't make any difference. But why a cargo plane? Why not a passenger plane? They have nice soft seats.
Well, Johnny, the airlines refused to transport a leper.
Heaven sure has some good salesmen on the road, and Chaplain Joe Blessings is one of the best. Before I knew it, a big Horizons Unlimited plane was lifting off the runway at Calcutta, and I was in it. Sitting on a suitcase, it looked like I'd never have time to unpack. The invalid Briggs was forward, being bedded down under the gentle hand of Chaplain Joe's assistant, Frankie.
Well, that is done. And I give up me Saturday afternoon at Belmont Park for this.
You're in luck, Frankie. Think of all the losers you miss betting on.
Mr. Dollar, you have the philosophy of a man who has never enjoyed the exquisite thrill of losing his last $2 upon a horse who is retarding the improvement of the breed.
Young man, you've never heard of the bluegrass branch of the Dollar family? Kentucky, sir.
Mr. Dollar, sir, if it were not for a certain horse from Kentucky named Breezy Boy who ran a very poor eighth at Rockingham, I would not only be a Kentucky colonel, I would be a Kentucky general, passing the time of day with my esteemed co-general, 3-star Hennessy. Here.
What's this? Whose briefcase?
Briggs. He wants you should take care of it.
And what's that?
What's in it should be in a holster.
How do you know?
Mr. Dollar, I got a sense of feel. Besides, I looked. It's a Luger.
A Luger, huh? Yeah. Off that, I'd say we are now in possession of the evidence. The murder weapon, in person. Exhibit A. Oops. Still loaded. With Exhibit A making an arsenal out of my right coat pocket, we touched wheels at Bombay for 3 hours and fuel, and then hiked back up for the run across the Arabian Sea. Made landfall high on the coast of Saudi Arabia, and the freight of the Cuff shoreline led us on to the Queen of Sheba's old hometown, Aden, where we sat down again for service, airplane and personal. Frankie and I got our sick man Briggs out and into the shade of a hangar, figuring he could use a breath of fresh air, but he didn't find it in that sun-baked hellhole. The grubby little ground crew burned up 4 valuable hours, taking their own unsweet time servicing the ship. That left us just 8 hours to get Briggs and his evidence up to Cairo, and left me almost enough time to save Mr. Brooke Nichols from taking the rope ride. Estimated time of arrival, midnight. Time of execution, 6 a.m. And I've learned that British officials are hard to wake up. The pilot stood the ship straight on its tail and made a fighter takeoff, getting out of there. We were 40 minutes out of Aden, about 5,000 feet above the Red Sea, when we ran into what I've learned to expect in my business, the unexpected.
Hello. Could either of you gentlemen tell me where I pay my fare?
Well, where did you come from?
Hey, a walk-on like this I have not seen since Minsky.
It's all right, gentlemen. You can pop your eyes back in. You've seen a woman before.
Oh, I've never scooped one up out of the sky before.
Could it be she's an angel?
What are you doing here?
I'm afraid I'm what you'd call a stowaway.
How'd you get aboard?
When the plane was empty, I locked myself in the powder room. I'm sorry I had to do it this way, but I have to get to Cairo immediately. The next airline flight doesn't go out till 11 tonight.
I should write to the captain and have him turn around and dump you back.
Please, don't. I'm perfectly willing to pay my way.
Don't worry. We can't spare the time.
Mr. Dollar, there are only certain things which make air travel a pleasure to certain people. With me, that is a stewardess, and I would be glad to brief her about her duty.
You go check the patient, Frankie. I'll check Miss Stowaway.
That's what comes from always being only an assistant.
I noticed that poor man on the stretcher when you took him out. Who is he?
Never mind. What's your name?
Fate Fabian.
What's so important you've got to get to Cairo this way?
Sorry, Mr. Dollar, that's a secret.
It's also a secret how you get into that tight little dress you're wearing.
I'm glad you like it.
A dress, yes. Secrets, no. When I find myself in an airplane with a stowaway, I smell trouble.
That trouble you smell costs $85 an ounce.
Now, listen, save your sharp talk for a cocktail lounge. Don't waste it here. You must think I'm kidding. This is serious. You're flying across international boundaries. Now, who are you?
I told you. Fate Fabian. Here. Here is my passport, and here is money. How much?
Okay. We'll call it a sort of bond to ensure your good behavior. $500.
All that for good behavior? That's awfully high.
So is this airplane. If you don't like it, jump. She didn't jump. And after 7.5 more droning hours, I was glad of it. Fate Fabian was all woman, all beautiful. All in a pretty nice relief from watching the time run through my wristwatch. She spent most of the trip sharing my suitcase with me. But once I looked up at her, when she was silhouetted against a window, posed against that moonstruck Egyptian sky. And it was almost worth the trip, the way she looked, wearing those stars in her hair. Just about then, a vague glow on the horizon took over where my conscience left off. We were coming into Cairo, and the problem of landing 50,000 pounds of airplane replaced the problem of landing 120 pounds of woman. I've never learned how to hold back a sigh of relief when I hear those big tires take a hole in the runway. And I sighed another one when I saw an ambulance standing by at the parking ramp. By the time the loading platform was pushed into place and the door opened, the ambulance was backed up, ready to receive Briggs.
Oh, are you the chap bringing a Mr. Briggs in from Calcutta?
Yeah, that's right. Never mind the stretcher. He's on one.
Oh, right, sir. We'll fetch him off then. Come along, Roscoe. Come in.
You all ready to go, Frankie?
Mr. Dollar, watch your language. That is not the thing to say about Mr. Briggs. But he will look at home in that ambulance.
Now then. Oh, congratulations upon the trip, Governor.
Thanks.
Take the other end, Roscoe. We'll hoist the poor chap out of it. All right, here we go now.
Hey, I'd better check with the pilot, Frankie. Give these guys a hand, will you? They may need it getting down that ramp.
Anything that moves me toward the end of this is a pleasure. Easy now. You want me to help lifting him in? Hey, Mr. Dollar, these guys ain't just plain ambulance drivers.
In just a moment, we return to the second act of Johnny Dollar. But first, whatever you're planning to do over the Labor Day weekend, be sure to plan to listen over most of these same stations tonight to a wonderful new show on CBS. It's Horace Height's original Youth Opportunity Show, a full half hour of fun and excitement. You'll get the thrill of a lifetime hearing talented young Americans get the chance of a lifetime. Don't forget, Sunday night with Horace Height, the Horace Height Original Youth Opportunity Show, starting tonight on CBS.
Tune in this fall for the shows that you love best of all. Listen carefully, here's the address. It's CBS.
Now, with our star, Charles Russell, we return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
I had made 4 steps toward the cockpit when I heard Frankie yell, and a half a step back toward the door when I heard the shots. By the time I got to the top of the ramp, the ambulance was about 20 yards away, and pitted against that distance were 2 overlapping thoughts. One, the way to stop, or at least slow it down, was to puncture the rear tires. 2, the tool at hand was that loaded Exhibit A Luger that should have been in my pocket. It wasn't there. I looked around, didn't see it. But I thought I knew where to find it. Come on, open up, or I'll put this fire extinguisher through that door. And if your head isn't in the way, I'll get that neck.
Wait a minute.
Moral, don't use the same hiding place twice.
It could be that I wasn't hiding.
And it could be that purse is now holding a Luger. Give me it. Yeah. Now all I need is to hear you say you don't know how it got there.
I don't know how it got there.
That does it. Come on, you're coming with me. Come on, get going.
Ouch! You don't have to do that.
What I did have to do was dig up some transportation. It turned out to be a taxi whose driver had slept with the excitement, and therefore was the only one at the hack stand. I think he was still asleep when I gave my unwilling companion an ungentlemanly shove into the rear seat, and we left. Nobody in full control of their faculties could drive the way he did. He knew he had a horn, but somebody had forgotten to tell him about brakes. All I had to go on was the direction in which that ambulance had taken off, straight toward Cairo. So, that's where we went, straight toward Cairo. Come on, whatever your name is, sit up and start your story.
My name is Faith Fabian.
Well, I couldn't be less interested. What I want to know is where those friends of yours take Briggs and Frankie.
I have no friends.
I can believe that. Whatever those thugs are, where are they?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Now, don't be coy. You and those mugs in that ambulance add up, that's all. Doesn't take any brains to figure out what you're all working for the same guy.
What same guy?
Miles Atkinson. The guy that's trying to keep witness Briggs and his evidence from saving Brooke Nichols from hanging about 5.5 hours from
You're being stupid.
Maybe so. All I know is somebody got away with a witness, and I find the evidence sharing your purse with your eyebrow
I found
pencil.
it on the plane. Somebody must have dropped
Oh,
it.
don't give me that. You can probably recite the serial number. Okay. You wanted the murder weapon? I'm going to be a real nice guy, just long enough to give it to you. And then I'm going to give you to the police. They have a nice little game they play with combinations like that. Hello. Are you the chief inspector?
I am.
This girl keeps telling me her name is Faith Fabian.
How do you do, Inspector? I've looked forward to this.
I'll bet. Well, my name is Johnny Dollar. I'm looking for somebody who knows the Brooke Nichols case.
Well, you certainly came to the right place. I know about the Brooke Nichols case.
Well, that's what I'm here about. You can bust that case wide open, Inspector. Brooke Nichols is innocent. Now, here. This Luger is all the evidence we'll need.
Thank you, Mr. Dollar.
One thing you'll still have to help me find, though, is a man named Briggs. He was an eyewitness to the murder. I brought him all the way from Calcutta, and somebody put the snatch on him at the airport. Not only that, they grabbed the guy who was helping me.
Oh, yes. Yes, that would be the obstreperous young gentleman you call Frankie.
Well, you know where he is?
Oh, yes, indeed I do.
Then he's all right.
Yes. If you could call a man all right when he's just been arrested for the murder of Mr. Briggs.
Murder?
Yes. Mr. Briggs was shot in the ambulance that took him from your plane.
Hey, what is this?
This is a very good time for both of you to remain perfectly still, Mr. Dollar. After you raise your hand, Miss Fabian, you needn't bother. There's hardly enough of that dress to conceal all of you, let alone the weapons.
Thank you.
Mr. Dollar, this is what a romanticist would call a poetic injustice. You see, this Luger, the evidence, as you call it, happens to belong to me.
But that's the murder weapon. Who are you, anyway?
Chief of Inspectors Miles Atkinson.
Miles Atkinson? Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
I fly 5,000 miles from Calcutta to put you in the hands of the police. And you turn out to be the police.
Yes. Bloody convenient, isn't it?
Not for me, it isn't.
Get steady, old boy. You know, this gun was probably the most fortunate purchase I ever made in my life. First, it killed a man who was in my way. Then, because it disappeared, it made it possible for me to establish false evidence, ostensibly proving that my esteemed cousin, Brooke Nichols, was guilty of the murder. And now, his death by hanging will place in my hands the controlling interest of the Constant Sun Trading Company.
Quite a bargain.
Thank you, Mr. Dollar.
Not you, the gun.
Which I shall now put to its final use. And after it is disposed of you two, I shall dispose of it.
That was the prettiest confession I've ever heard. I'm surprised that a chief inspector and bargain hunter should sell himself out so cheaply.
What do you mean by that?
That the confession was complete, voluntarily made in front of witnesses, and that we are leaving with it, and that you are coming with us.
Hey, Faith, baby, take it easy. No sense going on the make for a hot bullet.
Mr. Dollar is right. I warn you, the one who moves first dies first.
Very well.
Hey, one step closer, Miss Fabian.
I'm not afraid of you.
All right, you asked for it. Now take it. What is this?
No use,
What
no
is this?
bullets.
No, you can't stop me now.
Take cover,
You won't.
Fate. When ladies stay so far, now it's boys'
Look out,
time.
he's throwing the gun.
He did throw the gun, but not at me. At the single light fixture in the middle of the ceiling. And when that went out, so did Atkinson. Out through the door. And the chase was on. He was no dope. He knew where the light switches were, and as he went racing past them, he switched them off. It was like night flying without benefit of carrots in my diet. Chasing him down those long, empty, echoey corridors and up the stairs to the roof. At the door to the roof, I threw on our brakes by throwing an arm around Fate. She was soft, and it was dark, but I was scared. I figured Atkinson might have picked up a weapon on the way. And that turned out to be an underestimate. What he had picked up was a fire hose. When we stepped through that door, we got hit by a big fat bolt of liquid lightning. A couple of 100 pounds of water backed up by a couple of 1,000 pounds of pressure. It felt like a salmon swimming upstream to spawn. Over at the edge of the roof, braced against the low parapet, was Atkinson, using all his weight to keep the writhing nozzle from flipping him around. He was just one man on a fire department's errand. Hey, wait, I'll move around the other side. Try and throw that water off you. Get over that valve. See it?
Where?
That wheel over there. The end of the hose he ain't on. Turn off the water. Come on. Quick.
I see it. I'll get it.
Instead of dropping away to a dribble, the hose suddenly snapped its muscle up to its hardest as a driving surge of water went through it. And before Atkinson could get himself untangled from the canvas and rubber snake, it snapped him over the parapet, off the roof, and high into the night. Hey, Fate! Turn off that water!
What happened?
Oh. Poetic justice, baby. That fire hose threw Mr. Chief Inspector Atkinson off the roof. And he made a hole in one. Right through that gallows down there. The same gallows from which Brooke Nichols was supposed to hang in a few hours.
That's horrible. Let's move away from here.
Hey, wait a minute. That's not like you. After all, you're the gal who turned that water up instead of down.
If you wanted it done right, why didn't you send a plumber?
I won't ask you whether you meant it that way or not. As far as I'm concerned, it turned out just jolly this way. Oh, and while I'm at it, I'd like to thank you for taking such a brave chance with my life downstairs in the
Oh,
office.
really, Mr. Dollar? I knew that gun wasn't loaded. I unloaded it myself back in the powder room in the airplane. Just before you accused me of trying to steal it, remember?
The next time I take a shower, I promise to wash my mouth out with soap. But now I figure it's also about time you came clean. Really, now, who are you?
I'm sorry, my name is still Fate Fabian.
All right, you've made a sale. Your name is Fate Fabian. Well, what's your interest in this case?
No interest at all. It's just part of my job. They do hire people to police the police, you know. I happen to be one of those people. Do you want to see my credentials?
Your credentials look all right to me, baby. We got off the subject, off the roof, and into the problem of getting Brooke Nichols off the end of a rope. After going through those motions, and that gal made all the motions, including retrieving young Frankie from the pokey, I kissed Fate Fabian goodbye, just for luck. And receiving no interest on that investment, we headed back to the airfield. By the time that fireball Egyptian sun had poked its top rim over the leftover GI issue hangars at the east end of the field, the plane was serviced and panning to pry open the sky. Came the time to board ship, came a visitor.
I say, oh, boy. Is Mr. Dollar about?
Yeah, about right here.
Oh, splendid, splendid. I'm Lionel Brooke Nichols.
Congratulations.
I suppose you know you saved my life.
Yeah, with a lot of help, yeah.
Well, I should like to make it up to you somehow. Is there anything I can do?
Well, besides paying my expenses.
Oh, naturally. Send your chit to the Constant Sun Trading Company. You'll be paid post haste. But beyond that.
Well, could do something for the guy who got me out here. Back in Calcutta, I have an old army buddy named Chaplain Joe Blessings. He runs a church.
Oh, splendid. Perhaps I could donate a stained glass window or anything you suggest.
Did you say anything?
Yes, anything.
Okay. Well, look, Chaplain Joe Blessings doesn't need a stained glass window because he hasn't got any place to put it. What he does need is a new church. A real one with steeples and all that.
Oh. All right, then. Very well. Done.
Expense account, item 3. Same as original entry. Transportation from the land of the Sphinx to the land of the free by way of Calcutta, where I delivered a happier, though wiser, Frankie. Received the blessings of Chaplain Joe Blessing and ordered a custom-made lightweight pearl-handled blackjack in blue suede and inscribed, "To Fate Fabian, with a hope that you will never fail to supply the black to go with this blue. Love, J.D." Well, I guess that's all. Oh, expense account total. Oh, wait, there's one more. Expense account item 4, $10. Paid to Cassidy's Pawn Shop, Hartford, Connecticut, for purchase of one Hawk Air Medal. After all that flying, I thought I deserved one. Now, expense account total, $5,350.40. If you don't think the founder of your company is worth that, kindly suggest someone who might. Yours, truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, was produced and directed by Gordon T. Hughes and stars Charles Russell, with script by Paul Dudley and Gil Dowd. Featured in the cast were Georgia Ellis, Jack Edwards, Parley Bear, and Paul Dubov. The special music is written and conducted by Leith Stevens. Be sure to be with us again when Johnny Dollar returns to the air after a short vacation. Listen on Saturday, October 1st, when another most unusual expense account is handed in by
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Next week at this time, on many of these same stations, Eve Arden will bring you the madcap adventures of America's favorite schoolmistress, our Miss Brooks. Miss Arden, who has been heard later on Sunday evening for more than a year, is moving to this new time, and CBS cordially invites you to hear her and her famous brand of comedy. To make sure, consult your local newspaper listings next Sunday for the new time, when you'll hear Eve Arden and our Miss Brooks. Now, stay tuned for Your Hit Parade on Parade, which follows immediately over these same CBS network stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
From Hollywood, it's time now for Edmund O'Brien as
Johnny Dollar.
The Ambassador Travel Agency calling back, Mr. Dollar.
Oh, yeah.
Your reservation for Bermuda has just been confirmed. Pan American, flight number 134. You'll leave LaGuardia at 10:30 a.m., arrive at Kindley Field, Bermuda, 2:30 p.m.
Got it?
We'll send the tickets right over. It's been a pleasure to serve you, sir, and I hope you have an enjoyable stay in Bermuda. Is it a vacation?
Well, hardly. I'm going down there to look up a dead man.
Edmund O'Brien in another transcribed adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Tri-State Life Insurance Company. Attention, Leland Scarf, Chief Adjuster. The following is an accounting of my expenditures during investigation of the Earl Chadwick matter. Expense account item 1, $1.80, cab fare to your Hartford office.
The man has been seen alive, Dollar. I never was satisfied that he was dead. His boat, a small cruiser, was found wrecked, you know, but never a body.
How long ago was that?
A little over 4 years ago, 1945. He was declared dead in 1947 in appellate court, and we were forced to meet the claim of his widow, or his wife and accomplice, as it might seem now. Go ahead. Here's the lady that saw and spoke to him. Mrs. Marshall, this is Mr. Dollar.
How do you do?
Mrs. Marshall?
Now, I want you to tell Mr. Dollar what you told me, Mrs. Marshall, if you will.
Well, my husband and I had been in Bermuda for 3 days.
Mrs. Marshall, explain that you knew Earl Chadwick before.
Oh, yes, we knew him. Not too well, thank heaven, but well enough to be pointed out as friends of that embezzler. You know how people are.
Embezzler, Mrs. Marshall?
Oh, yes. There was attendant theft. He worked at the Monticello Loan Company in New York City. $30,000 disappeared at the same time he did. Police theory was that he wrecked his boat while attempting to leave with the money. Now, Mrs. Marshall, how you happened to see him?
We'd been there 3 days, and that night we went to this nightclub in Hamilton, slumming, so to speak. It's called the Port of Castile on the waterfront. It had been a number of years, mind you, and Chadwick was much thinner, but I recognized him. He was seated with some sailors, and I said, "Jerome, doesn't that look like Earl Chadwick?"
And then you spoke to him.
What else could I do? I was dying of curiosity. When he got up to leave, I met him and said, "Aren't you Earl Chadwick?" He denied it, of course, but being that close, I'm positive that it was.
What did he say? Did he give you a name?
No, but I found out. I felt I was quite within my rights in asking a few questions. The name he's using is George Brewster.
Well, Dollar?
What about Chadwick's wife? What happened to her?
She remarried one of his business associates, Harold Anderson. Yeah. I had the girls draw up a complete record on the case. Photographs, police reports, everything you'll need. The wife's address is there in Queens, I think.
All right, Mr. Scarf. I'll do what I can. Expense account item 2, $250 plane ticket and miscellaneous expenses between Hartford and Bermuda. I drew an aisle seat and one of the worst hazards of air travel, or any other kind of travel.
I'll tell you something. It pays to study these places before you go to them. I've been out there before. Nothing teaches like experience. But before my first trip, I knew more about Bermuda than lots of the folks that live there, see?
Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah, yes, sir. Quite a history. Spoiled now, though. People aren't worth anything anymore. You know what spoiled them? Tourists. Yeah, took away all their ambition. Turned them into a bunch of lazy beggars and horse traders. Don't farm anymore. Don't do anything but work the tourists. Now, I don't want to be a wet blanket, you understand?
Oh, yeah.
But keep an eye on your wallet. They'll strip you if you give them a chance. My business is farm tools. What's yours?
Yes, sir. My name is Dollar. Here's my credentials. I'd like to see the chief constable.
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Mr. Dollar to see you, sir, an insurance investigator from the States.
Yes, of course. Send him in.
Right, sir. That door, Mr. Dollar.
Thank you.
Pleasure, Mr. Dollar. Your company cabled that you were coming. Sit down.
Thank you.
Well, now, you're here to look into the affairs of one George Brewster. What's he been up to?
I'm not sure he's been up to anything yet. According to a witness, he answers the description of a man who disappeared from New York a few years ago with $30,000. He was declared dead, and the company that hired me paid off an $80,000 insurance claim to his wife.
I see. Quite a valuable chap.
Yeah, if he is the chap.
What about this Brewster? Do you people know him?
We acquainted ourselves with him after the cable arrived. Nothing against him. Lives a rather rum life. Doesn't seem to have much.
Are his papers in order? Passport? Visas?
I trust that he wouldn't be here if they were not. Like any other paradise, Mr. Dollar, Bermuda is forced to accept the existence of a certain percentage of misplaced or lost persons on its outskirts. That's what they are.
They?
Here's the address.
Thank you.
At the lower end of King George Road. Do you wish transportation?
No, don't bother. The walk will do me good. I decided against the King George Road address. Instead, I returned to my hotel, memorized the photographs of Earl Chadwick, subtracting a little weight from the somewhat flabby face. And that night, I found myself a table near the door at the port of Castile. I sat there, nursing a minimum of foul drinks. It was 10 o'clock before he came in and found standing space at the bar. George Brewster? Or Earl Chadwick?
What's the matter with you? What is this?
I'm curious, too. How about coming over to my table?
All right. You act like a cop.
Just 50% cop, no badge. I'm working for Tri-State Life Insurance Company.
What does that mean?
They insured a man and paid off to his wife. Now they are unsure he's dead.
He belongs to that other name you threw at me. What was it? Chadwick?
Earl Chadwick.
And I must look like him.
Here's a snapshot.
Huh. He's fatter, but it's pretty close at that. You know, about a week ago, some crazy old dame I never saw before called me some other name. It might have been Chadwick. I thought she'd drunk over her quota.
She was an old friend of Chadwick's. She swears she'd recognize him if she saw him. And she swears she saw him.
Huh. It's weird, isn't it? I suppose it happens more often than we know about. What do you want? My papers and stuff?
They might help.
Sure, I'll write down my address. Come on out anytime tomorrow. There you are.
Thank you. I should recover from these drinks by noon.
Well, that'll be all right. It's crazy, isn't it? Things like this could get your goat.
You the guy George was talking about last night?
Probably. I'm Johnny Dollar. Is George here?
No, he had to leave. But he said you could come in. He said you could look at this stuff. Here's his passport and cards and things.
How long have you known him?
2 years last month.
You know where he came from?
Never asked me where I came from. This guy, he looks like. He had a wife?
Yeah. I want to take some of his personal things into town to check his prints against this passport. Shaving brush if he uses one, tubes, jars, anything.
You think he's the guy?
I'll have to find out.
Never mind.
You told me you were going.
The prints would check against the passport, but it wouldn't make any difference. Now that it's started, why stretch it out? Why not make it easy?
George?
No, Earl. I'd almost forgotten. Earl. Where can we talk?
I've got a hotel room. The statement he made filled in most of the blanks in the case. 1, his wife was to have met him in Mexico City, but hadn't. 2, most of the stolen funds had gone to his wife to keep her going until she collected the insurance.
So she got married. I didn't know that. She told me to wait, and I did. Grace married.
We can leave for the States
Grace
anytime
and
you're ready.
Harold. Huh? Oh, I can be ready anytime you say. All I have to do is pack a few things and say goodbye to Fran.
Expense account item 3, space for 2 on New York-bound plane. Chadwick was a hard man to figure out, but one thing I did realize. Now that he'd started, he was almost happy to be going back to the people he'd left.
We arrived in the evening, and the next morning, I was told when I telephoned that Mrs. Grace Chadwick Anderson and her husband were at home and would receive me.
Oh, good morning.
Hello, Grace. Harold.
I beg your pardon?
I understand, Harold. This must be the man that Mrs. Marshall phoned about. You know, the one in Bermuda.
Oh, come now, Grace. That's no good.
Who are you, anyway? Mr. Dollar, for what purpose did you and this man come here?
I brought him here so you could identify him as your missing husband.
That's idiotic. There is the faintest resemblance, yes, but that's all.
What do you have in mind, Mr. Dollar? Now, no crude extortion attempt like this will get you anything but arrest. I know Earl Chadwick, and I'll swear under oath that this man is not he.
I should think you would, Harold.
Who are you, and where did you learn my name?
Get him out of here.
Why? Why not talk over old times, Grace?
Wait a minute. All right, Mrs. Anderson, Mr. Anderson. I'm sorry I've taken up your time. Come on.
Dollar, what's the matter? You too?
Come on.
I'm sorry, dear. I know it's been unpleasant for you.
Who do you think I am? I ask you, who do you think I am?
That doesn't count. You're legally dead. What about your parents?
They're dead. But I have friends or people that knew me.
They're no good. If your wife won't identify you, they're no good. You worked for a loan company. They must have your prints.
I took them from the files and destroyed them when I left.
How are your teeth?
What?
Teeth. Who was your dentist here in town?
Dr. Field. It's been so long. Dr. Homer Field. Drake, Professional Building, Manhattan.
He'll still have your x-rays on file. They're as good as fingerprints. Go there this morning. Don't use your name. Give him your other name, George Brewster. Have a new set of x-rays taken. I'll do the rest.
All right.
Hold it. Now, look, I don't have to hire somebody to follow you, do I?
No. Oh, no. Not after I've seen them. You don't have to worry about my going anyplace.
Expense account item 4, $25 services of a private detective. Assignment, tailing Earl Chadwick and/or George Brewster. At 1 o'clock, he had left the dentist's office and gone to his hotel room. At 3, he was still there. And at 4:30, I arrived in the office of Dr. Homer Field.
Brewster? Oh, yes. His x-rays have come through. They're on the clamps. Don't touch them, please. What is your interest?
Police identification.
Oh, yes. Well, always happy to cooperate.
Thank you. Now, how about digging in your files for the x-rays on a patient named Chadwick? Earl Chadwick.
I'll be glad to. Let's see. Chadwick. Earl M. Chadwick, is that your man?
That's the name.
1945. Ooh, he should have been in for hygiene.
Those pictures, how do they compare with this new set? Brewster.
Well, let's have a look. There's malocclusion, lower bicuspid, impacted third molar. Erosion inlay, very interesting.
You mean they're the same in both sets of pictures?
Oh, no, definitely not.
Oh. But a man's mouth could change since 1945, couldn't it?
Yes, it could, especially with neglect, but that would never cause a man to grow new teeth. Now, you see here, Brewster has one more incisor than Chadwick. The whole character of the mouth is different, I see, here.
Yeah. I see, it's different, all right.
Definitely. These two men would not look even faintly alike.
In just a moment, we will return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. But first, down the old Ox Road, learn to croon straight from the shoulder. Milestones in popular American music. Milestones in the career of one of America's favorite troubadours, Bing Crosby. This Wednesday night, over most of these same CBS stations, you're invited to hear The Bing Crosby Show. Bing Crosby with the music of John Scott Trotter, with the Rhythmaires, with Ken Carpenter. Here's the show designed for the whole family. A pleasant and diverting mixture of music and merriment, guided by the one and only Bing Crosby. Plan now to hear The Bing Crosby Show this Wednesday night on CBS. And now with our star, Edmund O'Brien, we return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Look, Dr. Field, these x-rays labeled Earl Chadwick. Could they be misfiled? Could they be under the wrong name?
Misfiled? No, definitely not. My assistant has been with me for 10 years. Never made a mistake yet. No.
Well, then could anyone else have gotten in here and planted a different set under that name?
But why? I would realize the difference the moment I looked into the mouth. That erosion inlay alone.
Yeah, I know. Look, your office. Has it been broken into?
Yeah, a long time ago, for narcotics.
How long ago?
6, 7 years ago, during the war.
But not since then?
I've missed nothing.
The janitor, the nightman, does he have a key?
No. It's cleaned in the evening, just before I leave. Robbery is out of the question. Just what is your problem, Mr. Dollar?
Well, if I wanted to plant some x-rays in a file, where could I get some?
Well, I never thought of it. But...
Where would I go? Would you give me some?
Oh, no, definitely not. That would be most unethical, unless, of course, you were a patient of mine and the x-rays were of your own mouth.
Oh, thank you, Doctor. I think that's what I wanted to hear you say. Before dark, I made 2 more stops, searching for something to help me prove that Earl Chadwick was alive, if he was. The Hall of Records had nothing but a couple of certificates on him. One recorded his birth, the other recorded his death. I checked the wanted file at police headquarters. They had checked him out in 47 when the court had pronounced him dead. On my way out of there, I made 2 phone calls. The second was to the detective I'd hired.
Yeah?
Landro, what are you doing in your office? Did you lose him or get tired?
He was on to me, Dollar. He got into the crowds at Macy's. I put the houseman at his hotel on it. He's watching his door.
I just phoned his room. He's not there. What's he been up to?
He left the hotel at 318 and took a cab over to 3rd Avenue.
What address?
A pawn shop, Johnny. He bought a gun.
Nice going, Landro. If you decide to change over to stopping traffic at school crossings, use me as a reference. Where's your husband, Miss Anderson?
He's here, but he
Come
doesn't
on, I want to talk to you both.
You have no right to barging.
Where is he?
What is it, Grace? Oh, it's you again.
That's
He
right.
forced his way into the house. Make him get out, Harold.
I will if I have to. Now, look here. I don't know what that imposter has told you, and I don't care. If you choose to believe his lies, that's your business. And a sorry business it is. But I will not allow my wife and my home to be upset by his schemes any longer.
Are you through?
No, not quite. It's obvious to us, if it's not to you, that this man learned of the unexplained details surrounding Earl's death and is attempting to use this vague resemblance to his advantage. Now, extortionists land in prison, Mr. Dollar. And the only reason I haven't turned to the police before this is that we want to escape the notoriety of having past tragedies lived again.
He bought a gun this afternoon. That makes him look like the double-crossed husband, doesn't it?
The man's a maniac. I'm going to ask for police protection.
Where is he?
Who?
This man. Do you know where he is?
When I found out he bought a gun, I was afraid he was coming here to use it.
Harold, I can't believe this is happening.
Now, Grace, please. Why would he harm us? He doesn't know us and we don't know him. He bought the gun to convince you, Dollar.
He knows a lot about you, Anderson. He knows you were Chadwick's immediate superior in the loan company before he disappeared.
Harold, it couldn't be, could it?
Grace.
It's been a long time. Maybe some disease could change a person that much. But he would have contacted
Grace,
me.
Earl is dead.
How did this man learn so much about us?
As far as I can see, he's made only one mistake. The size of the theft. He says he stole 10,000. According to the record, 30,000 was missing. Of course, it's possible that it isn't a mistake. That somebody in the firm who knew what his plan was picked up the odd 20,000 and put it on Chadwick's account.
Mr. Dollar, I have one thing to say to you before you leave. Earl Chadwick is dead.
You're so right. And that's what troubles me. A legally dead man running around loose with a gun makes an interesting situation. Did you ever think of that? Who would the police look for? I'm going to my hotel in case you want to phone in your answer. Where have you been, Chadwick?
Right here. The maid let me in.
What's the idea?
I was scared somebody was following me. I got the feeling they hired somebody to get rid of me.
No.
Why not?
I haven't thought of that yet. Give me the gun.
I need it.
Come on, where is it?
Never mind. Get away from me.
Come on, where are you carrying?
Hey, you... How did you know I had it?
What were you going to do with it?
I told you I was scared. You thought I was going to kill them?
The idea crossed my mind.
No. What good would that do?
How should I know what's going on in that head of yours? Why'd you come back then?
Just to get things straightened out.
You wouldn't have had to. I haven't found a way to prove who you are.
Oh, I knew I didn't have to come back. But everything was stagnant. Being George Brewster was dull. I thought that's what I wanted. A new identity, even without Grace. But I guess nobody's ever satisfied. And when you have a choice of who you want to be, then it's really hard. What about the x-rays?
No good. The set under Chadwick didn't match the one you had taken today.
They had to.
They made a switch with somebody else's, probably Anderson's. It's an easy office to enter. Probably hired a cat burglar. Nothing at the Hall of Records, nothing at police headquarters. You're dead.
What did the police say?
I didn't talk to them. Why should I? The case is closed. You're dead.
Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with grave clothes, and his face was bound about with a napkin.
Yeah?
Landro, Johnny.
No, yeah. Sorry I blew up.
Forget it. I lost him, didn't I? How is it?
Oh, it's a mess. I'm not getting any place. The only proof I can find is proof that he's dead.
Maybe he should stay there.
Yeah, I'm getting ideas myself.
What about his draft board? They take prints.
Police checked in 47. They're lost. Look, I'm going to have to dummy up something. I don't want you to violate any trade secrets, but do you know a good forger?
That depends.
It'll be practically legal. All I need is a driver's license.
I think that can be managed, Johnny. When?
Tonight.
It'll cost.
Well, I'm working for a wealthy company. Oh, there's more, too, Landro. How about meeting us in your office in 45 minutes?
Sure, Johnny. Bring a bottle.
Expense account item 5, $500, one bogus 1947 driver's license complete with Chadwick's thumbprint. By 10 p.m., we were back in Landro's office.
Johnny, how desperate is this Anderson?
Desperate enough to welcome a nice, fast deal. Don't quote a price unless you have to. Just get him down here.
Why anybody goes through all this to make prison?
Prison?
Come on, Landro, get on the phone. There's the number.
You're my client. Mr. Harold Anderson? I'll be blunt. This is blackmail. I'm calling in the interests of Earl Chadwick. No, he isn't. He's alive. But I do have proof. A driver's license he took out just before he disappeared, as a sort of a double check on the past. You'll believe it when you see it. It's for sale. He doesn't want to go to prison any more than you do, but he needs money. I said you'd believe it when you saw it. I think it'll be worth a trip over here. We'll talk price then. We meet here. Number 465 Tide Building, 7th Avenue. It's no bluff. Nobody knows about it. I'll be alone. He doesn't believe it.
When'll he be here?
He said 45 minutes.
Good. Now, don't make the price too high. Set up a meeting with him tomorrow, and we'll have the police here.
Well, step forth, Lazarus.
Empty the ashtrays, Landro. Looks like 3 men have been here. He arrived at 11:30. Chadwick and I, in an adjoining room with the door cracked, watched his wary entrance.
Who are you?
The name is on the door.
Landro. You work under a license issued by the state of New York.
Sometimes, but the license isn't important tonight. You won't make any trouble. Sit down.
Well, Landro?
Here it is. Just look. Name, a serial number, a date, a signature, and a thumbprint.
Where is he?
He'll phone me in the morning.
Well, where's the man from the insurance company?
Looking for Chadwick. He doesn't know about this yet.
Why? Why has he waited this long?
He didn't know everything that had happened. You and his wife. The money you made on it.
What's the price?
Well, as he put it to me, it ought to be figured from the 20 grand you took and the advance you've made in the company the last few years.
How much?
He'd like to start at 15,000.
It would take a while.
5,000 tomorrow, say around noon. The other 10 within a week. That's when you get the license.
Well, it would have to be later than noon tomorrow, but I brought 1,500 with me.
That's a deal.
All right. I'll give it to you.
Hey, watch it. Don't do it.
Anderson.
Wait, Dollar.
Landro, down. Landro.
I'm all right.
Chadwick. 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 Pulse. Pull his collar down.
Nothing?
Nothing. I don't know what your company can do about it now. Both Mr. and Mrs. Anderson gave statements to the police that same night, confessing their contribution to the original crime. You'll have a hard time prying Harold Anderson loose from the clutches of the state, which is working on a murder indictment for him. About the wife, Grace, I don't know. If she's not found guilty as an accessory, I'd be happy to appear as a witness if she's brought to trial on fraud charges. As for my part in it, I'm not proud of myself, but I was hired to find a dead man, and I finally found one, just before he lived. Expense account total, $1,575.30. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars Edmund O'Brien in the title role and is written by Gil Dowd and David Ellis, with music composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Edmund O'Brien can soon be seen starring in the Columbia Pictures production, The Los Angeles Story. Featured in tonight's cast were Lillian Baeff, Walter Burke, Virginia Gregg, John Daner, Ben Wright, Tudor Owen, and Ted Osborne. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle. Join us again next week at this same time when, from Hollywood, Edmund O'Brien returns in another transcribed adventure of
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Every Wednesday night, CBS brings you Groucho Marx with his brilliant quiz, You Bet Your Life. It's one of the brightest, most spontaneous, most genuinely funny shows on the air. So be listening this Wednesday night on most of these same CBS stations for You Bet Your Life, starring Groucho Marx. Stay tuned now for the adventures of Philip Marlowe, which follow over most of these same CBS stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.